get recording so I don't forget. Yeah, it sounds like, where we left off, there's been some few folks kind of like sharing what happened. Is music okay for y'all? Okay, cool. Hopefully that didn't change it too much. I need to bring it down a little bit for myself. Okay. So the Bronze Bullies find themselves at the very far reaches at the edge of the galaxy we know as the Nyx, in this astral, plane, in a place called the Shard Space. And this is where it's kind of the brutally cold portion of the nebula, and all these pieces of shards of rock and crystal, floating through this heavy mist, that's also, as it, and that mist as it wafts through every now and then reveals like the beautiful stars beyond. But it's like I said, it's that cold, desolate portion, and this is where they've come to two things: to find the mighty servant, or the artifact that Purphoros created and then cast to the edges of space. It is essentially it's a weapon that can be used to fight gods. They have found out, trying to locate it, that it is in multiple locations, and then from finding it in one piece of it, a gauntlet in Strahd's castle. They now know that they have basically at least 5 other pieces to find. Persis has taken that one gauntlet and attached it and become attuned to it. And to add to that, Persis, I went back through, and as you're tuned, so I wanted to add to it that it's a +2 if you have the Archon gem. It deals 4d8 force damage, like I said before, using your strength mod. But here's the kicker: as long as you're wearing it, your strength stat becomes 19 while wearing it, unless it's higher than that. So that gives Persis a little bit more reason, similar to the gauntlets of ogre strength.
So it uses, like, it's a strength-based attack roll, adds +2, and makes your strength 19.
Yeah, because your strength, your strength mod for your attack. I know you don't really do attacks like that because you mostly support. But if you were to, you're gonna have a higher strength because your strength's 19 as long as you're wearing it. So that's gonna bump the modifier for it if you do find yourself in a hairy situation where you want to attack with it.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is one of, it wasn't made, of course, for Persis, but Persis is the one wearing it right now. Let's see. I wouldn't say it's not really made for anybody, but in terms of maybe who benefits the most from it, that is to be decided. But Persis definitely attunes faster than anyone else would to using these kind of weapons or pieces of their armor. Strahd has been defeated. He did not. They don't know if he died. They believe that he's still alive, because he turned into this black smoke and kind of slunk away into the lower depths of the castle. The party got what they came for, and decided to get out of there. They were able to escape back on the ship. But one of the things that we did realize is that the mirror that held Proxenos, it shattered, and it shattered during the combat with Strahd downstairs. And when it shattered, all those people, all those souls who were kind of lost and trapped inside of it were freed. But Proxenos did not appear. One of those slots was a character named Tav, who was a kind of a drunken, drunken style monkish character who also seemed to have very almost angelic or celestial abilities, who was able to come to the group's aid, and after aiding them, decided to kind of go on and not stay in this world, and faded away. When they got back on the ship, Pythias was also gone, and Proxenos is gone. And there's a sense of finality to this time, or feeling like where Proxenos is, even though they don't know where. Does anybody want to add anything to that? But that's kind of where we had from what I call left off. Or we can add some particulars or notes that might, be important here.
There was something else.
Okay.
Sophia, being disintegrated and left to dust, something survived a pouch that Fitz rifled through and found the feather of the phoenix still intact. There was a bit of back and forth between Persis and Fitz about whether or not he should use it, and Fitz adamant, not wanting one of her friends to truly be gone, use the feather. And Sophia came back with strange memory in her mind. She had a conversation with Proxenos, but can't remember when it happened. It's a parting of ways. And said, search in the hearts of men. That's where the sun lies. And that's where the memory faded.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. Just put in Persis in this window frame as well. All right. Yeah, I think that brings us up to speed. Let's see here. So we open tonight on the Hammerhead as it is, sailing away from Castle Ravenloft. This Gothic cathedral, that edifice, drifting away slowly, being swallowed by that cold mist until it is out of sight, until it is gone. And we kind of pan across the ship's deck to see Sophia thinking about how she was saved, being gifted, how she was, gifted the feather by Proxenos just hours before, having a close encounter with death of her own. How did the boy know she would need it? And why her using, having the feather used on her and not Zen? And the thoughts to her, most people are granted just one life, yet she's been granted a second chance. And I know she plans not to. It's not something that she doesn't take lightly. And she stands there in contemplation. Meanwhile, the rest of the bullies and the, shipmates are moving to and fro, hoisting sails, and as Persis, commands the ship. And it almost feels like these actions are providing some necessary distraction to prevent them from just dwelling on the idea that And it's not a sorrow thing, like no one died, but the idea that, you know, in a weird way, you know, heroes of people in their party have moved on. You know, they got to see Pythias again, but he's gone on. Sophia had seen that in a vision of him kind of on that little raft, a little boat, being directed away by one of those ferrymen of Athreos. And no one knows where Proxenos is. But this time, you know, and Proxenos has done this multiple times. He's been so close to death many times, but this time it does feel different. His absence carries a weight, a finality. And so, as I've said that, I'll leave it there and give us a moment to get reacquainted with everyone and maybe what they're doing on the ship, and then allow you all to transition that into where they go next. I will say, based on the map that I can put up here shortly, you all do have coordinates, you know, to where these pieces, rough areas that they lie. And the next piece is very close by. It's about a 4-hour, you know, journey to that next location. But where they go is completely up to them, of course. And so I turn it over to the group.
I think we should be acutely aware of the giant beast that we saw.
Yes.
In the sky. Or, well, not all of us saw it. I think, was it just Moby? Or just Sophia?
Moby has seen the eye, and caught, like, the tail of it, like, moving beyond in the mist. Yes. Might have been Sophia that saw the eye while in the castle or something outside. Yeah.
So yeah, Persis is directing the movements of the ship, but is distracted by watching, like trying to watch over her directions for something that could destroy us easily, it seems like.
Yeah, so Moby's just on top of the ship, just kind of gliding back and forth, just, you know, he understands kind of the you know, the heavy nature of the moment, doesn't tend to handle, strangely enough, death as well, and but also knows that, you know, so trying to give the other space, but also being vigilant to, considering what he had seen earlier. So he's just kind of hovering up there, keeping watch.
Sophia would be on the main deck, staring out into the vast emptiness of this space, contemplating. At moments she has a smirk, like half smile on her face. Other times she has a confused aura about her. She's going through many emotions right now of what's happened and what she has seen, and she's holding this necklace of hers that's just a dull green rock to most, but to her it's everything. And she just looks out and sees those trails, those small rivers and canals traveling to places, and she stands there hopeful.
Persis, can I have an advantage survival navigation check from you?
Okay. It's navigation. The survival
it's a survival check. I don't think there's a navigation skill, so I basically am calling it a survival navigation. It's for the fact that you're doing navigation, but it's a survival check.
It's an 8.
With advantage.
with advantage.
Okay.
I rolled an 8 and a 1.
Can you roll a d4 for me?
Yeah. 2.
Man, I gotta enhance your ability while you pilot.
It wouldn't help if I already had advantage.
Guidance. Guidance would help.
Yes, more
Yeah,
guidance.
that one.
All the guidance.
All the guidance.
Okay. Oh, sorry. You're somebody provided you guidance. Is there, or
Not that
what happened?
time.
Oh, not that time. Yeah. And so, you know, hours begin to drift by as well. What I will well, actually, let me make a roll of my own here. Okay. And so you don't spot that menacing. You don't get that menacing feeling of. I imagine that, you know, definitely I imagine Moby and Sophia and the captain are definitely on high alert about this beast, and they realize as the hours drift on that you're lost, and that you've drifted almost 8 hours. I'm gonna roughly say like 6 hours in. Thankfully, in a weird way, based on where you're trying to go, it's been directly forward. So as you begin to get your bearings, and actually, I didn't ask you where. So basically, if you succeed the roll, you will be able to choose where you're going. So if you were to look at the map, where are and you all can weigh in on this. Of course, you know, Persis is role playing. Persis is the captain, but I imagine that you all might want to consult each other on where is the ship attempting to drift towards next, since you know the coordinates.
We collect mech suit pieces. We go next mech suit place.
So is it this location? That's the
Makes
closest.
sense to go to the next
This
closest.
is the other one, and then
That's what I would think, right?
Yeah,
That was
okay.
the original plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I imagine this little. I
Thank
imagine
you.
this
So we're
little.
just
Whoever
we're
drew
going in
this,
a
this is
circle.
Ravenloft, and this must be whatever's on. Is this whatever's out there or something? I like the doodles.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Oh, thank
You're
you.
Yeah, of course.
Put a tombstone where Ravenloft is, because someone always dies there.
All right. So, if we're planning to make another check here, so not that could have been bad. If anything, more time went by, but that's also giving you enough time. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and make it 8 hours because that's giving you enough time to take a long rest. So, you are fully capable again.
Did we take one beforehand? Because for some reason, like
No, because you would have just got on the ship from fighting.
yeah,
Strahd, so I
but
don't
for some
think
reason,
anybody-
like I'm full stocked, and I'm like I died.
Interesting. Does
spells and
True
everything.
Resurrection put you back at
Just
like
blessed.
100%? Yeah,
True Resurrection does
Just-
get you everything.
it does.
Oh,
So that's
okay.
probably why. Yeah.
I was over here
yeah.
like I know I used 8th, 7th, and some 6th
Yeah.
level spells.
Oh, it gets you
Oh.
your spell slots back as well. That's interesting.
I don't know
That
if it's spell
I don't know about spell
slots.
slots. I think you get all your hit points back, but well, yeah. But now you have everything back regardless, so you don't have to worry about it. I guess I'll take another advantage since you're plotting your course and
If I
any
guidance the ship, does that guidance Persis as well, since she's controlling said ship?
I'll take it.
Can I
'Cause
inspire Persis too?
Can you
Like
what?
I don't know where the captain quarters are, so I'm just gonna like.
Yeah, I mean, I because I think a ship is not a Persis show, so I'll take these ways that they can help, the captain. So sure.
I think Fitz is just telling Persis how cool she looks with that mech hand, and that is so inspiring that it helps her perform better.
He has the Infinity Gauntlet on.
Yeah, you just look so cool. You look so powerful. I can't believe it. I'm so glad we're friends. You can add a D12.
And
Amazing.
a D4.
Okay, let's bomb the shit out of this. Okay.
Don't you speak that evil, Ricky Bobby.
What'd you get?
Okay. I'm doing math.
Okay.
19. 100%
Okay.
because of all the bonuses.
All the bonus. All right. And so Persis kind of gets her wits about her and begins to know that's not where we're trying to go. We need to rewrite the ship, turn, all that stuff, all that that ship lingo that I don't know, and begins to set the courses correctly. As the kind of with the minigame rules that we had used with a 19, it sounds like you only need to move one space, right? But you would normally get up to 3 spaces with this move. So if we're going here, you have no problem going there. So the ship begins to... Oh, I actually realized I wasn't sharing it, but basically if I share 20, so the ship is moving into this area here for the moment. And so you all begin to chart courses and travel forward. As you do, a couple hours go by, and as they do, at some moment, the hammerhead maneuvers through this treacherous mist, and then through those crystal shards, and as you're all peering into the void, suddenly that dense debris begins to clear, and it starts to reveal this awe-inspiring sight ahead of you. What you all see in front of you is bathed in a soft ethereal light of distant stars is this colossal metal alloy head of the god of the forge as it emerges into view. And Purphoros' features remain stern and stoic, his massive eye sockets now vacant, not with that heavy flame. And he gazes into the cosmic expanse, and the crew, all of you, just have this collective kind of collectively catch your breath at the magnitude of this discovery, and just sit there like awestruck as it settles in, as you see the head of your god, or so many of yous, floating before you. And what I mean by is, your ship is as small as his eye socket. With that, we'll have our opening credits, and we'll pick right back up from right there. So, as this has been revealed, and the ship floats here, with all the crew in awe. Can I have? Actually, no. I'll just turn it over to you all. See how you all are reacting to what you see in front of you.
Well, that makes the one at the edge of our ship look so tiny.
That makes our whole ship look so tiny.
Where's Master Telmoon? Should he be here for this?
Yeah, isn't that his guy? Telmoon, isn't this your guy?
Lines.
I'm sure dog barking would just make this moment more majestic.
Totally.
This
He's
is
like,
fine.
I'm waiting. Hold on. Wait for a break.
Yeah, Tomoon's fairly overwhelmed. He probably would have just dropped. He probably would have been mid dance and just would have dropped his rapiers and fell to his knees.
Just one glistening tear.
Is this the piece that we're looking for?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Are we supposed to collect this? Because I think it will collect us.
We can try and tow it somehow.
Oh, should we fly inside and be like its brain?
I'll take a perception check from Fitz and Sophia since they're having the conversation.
I need to get on my character sheet.
Actually, I'll take a perception check, but I also want to know what your passive is, because a portion of this may be passive, and then another portion may be rolling higher. Another may be rolling higher than your passive. Yeah.
See, my passive investigation and insight are so good.
Oh, okay, but I don't
But
know
my
if you're
perception
investigating here.
is a 12,
Okay.
and I rolled a 5.
Okay.
My passive is 20, and I
Okay.
rolled a 29.
Okay. All right.
I'm just here for the vibes.
Yeah. So what Sophia notices is that, looking a little bit closer, the left eye socket looks like it's kind of been blown out, and so it's just an open, dark expanse inside where the ship could actually easily fit inside. The other eye seems to be like like an eyeball, like a concave, like giant bronze, spherical piece that's there with a lens in it, but it's completely powered down, no light, no magic. And in addition to that, Sophia looks at the same side of the face, so the side that's blown out, so I guess that'll be the right side. On the right cheek, or like the jaw area, there is an opening, like a small opening, another small opening that the ship could fit through, probably from that battle with Heliod, where like the jaw's disjointed and blown open, and the ship could also fit in at a lower area where the jaw is. So there are 2 entrances.
Which one do you think Persis would want to fly into? The skull or the mouth?
Oh. I don't know, because I myself am so fixated on the idea of being the brain. But we could probably ask Persis.
He controls the ship, but it's the only 2 spots that I see that we can enter without a problem.
Persis! I just skip over to wherever Persis is. So Sophia and I were looking at the giant floating head, and we see an opening in the eye. We could totally go be its brain, or you could maybe fly the ship in through its mouth. Honestly, it's up to you. You're the driver.
Also, to add to this, just so they can kind of paint a more clear picture, is that as the mist moves, it looks like it's just the head, in which you realize it's kind of like a bust. So it's like all the way down to the kind of the chest area, but you can't tell if at least here, from how large it is, you can't even tell beneath the clouds if there is more body to it. Yeah. But the way it kind of it moves, so it's almost like a planet, structure, or a moon-sized structure. He also seems it's metal. It's still metal, but it almost it's like crystallized on the inside. It's so cold. There's looks like there's a bit of frost on it, and it almost looks petrified, like cracks in it. So similar to how the first time, or it basically how Atraxes looked petrified, or when Apodexis was petrified in that bronze kind of form.
So does this look like a helmet? Because we're looking for this suit. Does it look like the helmet, or does it look like a giant statue,
Yeah.
like a
Good- good-
colossus.
Yes, it is. So all depictions of Purphoros is he's wearing a helmet. He's wearing a Centurion helmet. So yes, I know this is kind of AI art, so it doesn't fully capture the way I see but it's similar to where it's almost like I imagine, because if you look at the Magic the Gathering images of Purphoros, the helmet is almost part of his skin. He's like Colossus from the X-Men, right? It's all metal. He's an anvil rod himself. But I don't think you'd go as far as to think that helmet is the helmet you're here for. I don't think his helmet is the helmet.
It's not like it's that helmet and it's just on a gigantic creature.
Yeah, I don't think so. No,
So it's
like
big.
that helmet is his head. It's part of his structure.
Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, Telmoon is definitely having a hard time with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
And on that note, as Fitz comes over and says that, she looks at you a second, and then looks over at the crying, kneeling Telmoon. Or I heard there were tears, right? Or just a single tear?
I was told that Telmoon's crying.
Oh.
So I guess
narrated a
Telmoon's
single
crying.
tear. Sorry, if you don't want that,
No,
you can
Telmoon's
erase
crying,
that.
apparently. It's fine. You know,
Telmoon is whimpering and
still check for the
shivering.
tear.
But yeah, she just first looks at you, and then looks at Telmoon pointedly, like, "Are you sure that flying into it would be respectful?"
We gotta go in there somehow.
As a practical matter, I think inside the eye is probably a better choice.
Yes.
But let's make sure it's done in a way that isn't
I pinky promise I will not defile this god intentionally.
There's suddenly a flashback of Fitz drawing a
You know,
mustache onto
she's got
Nedios'
the
dead
quill
body.
just like behind her back.
Moby's been very quiet. Is he thinking anything or sharing anything? You can say
mean,
no, and I'm not putting you on the spot, Eddie.
For no reason, Moby is just like, let's just go in the mouth. Like as everyone's discussing, I'm just saying, just let's go in the mouth. I feel like that's a good spot. And whether anyone hears me or not is, we don't know.
I would say Telmoon is almost too distracted to be like any sort of event. Like he's not even listening to any of this conversation. He's just thinking of Taroxys and how the two of them haven't really been able to have a chance to talk out their feelings. But we had heard that if we found a piece of his body, that we might have a chance.
And at that moment,
And-
Taroxy's you feel like that large, cold hand kind of touch your shoulder, and Taroxy's just towering over. He doesn't say a word, just looking down on you, just with his hand on Telmoon's shoulder.
Telmoon doesn't even look back up at him, but he just slowly nods and just quietly says, "Whatever it takes." And just sits there silently.
And Taroxys has his head kind of bowed almost in reverence, as like in the same way that Telmoon does, even though he doesn't kind of go to his knees. He kind of almost has, Taroxy's shoulders are always so strong and out, and for this first time, first time in a long time, they look humble.
Persis will call out, "Taroxys, Telmoon, do you wish to be the ones to investigate?"
Taroxys would probably respond in some way, affirming that he definitely, is willing to, but he believes that, there's always strength in numbers, and that they should stay together, and therefore everyone should come.
We all have things that we're looking for here, so it's better if all eyes are there.
Very well. And Fitz, you made a promise for yourself, but do you need to explain to Kai about being respectful?
Oh. You know? Not a bad
don't-
idea.
I think this is a new experience for her.
Yeah, we're not really big on spelunking, as far as I know. This is our first endeavor, so I'll just go. I'll just give her a little rundown. Go give a pep talk of be on your best behavior. Everyone's very sad because this is their god. We're not gonna hurt it.
Don't try to climb into the brain and punch nerve endings to make it twitch.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. That would be so fun. But I won't do it.
If I cast Guiding Bolt, can I make the statue blink?
See, not my idea. But I will inspire you if you need it.
So then, the eye? Moby, you seem very sure about the mouth.
I just, and then Moby, like, kind of embarrassed because that's all he was saying, tries to rationalize it by, that you could get connected down, we can go further down. There might be something there versus we just get stuck in the head. I don't know. I'm hoping we don't get eaten up by acid or something. But...
we could always start high and then travel low.
From the size of it, it could take some time to travel.
Yeah, it does look massive.
But to be fair, there is a morbid sense of going through the eye into the skull. I mean, if this truly is Purphoros' carcass, then the knowledge that he has will be simpler to find if we're in the head.
See, that's using your noggin.
Actually, it'd be using his.
Using yours to get into his.
Maybe that's what we're here for. The knowledge to use these pieces that we find. I mean, he is the one that made them.
Not a bad idea.
And it never hurts to have two of his champions with us. And his hammer, of course, could be a key.
Does the helmet, as in the picture, the helmet covers like from his eyebrows up?
Yeah, it kind of, if you can see me on here, it kind of goes around here or across its, the cheekbones, but it stays it's almost like it's connected to the face, right? And then it has the openings like a Spartan helmet would, and then where the frill would be on the top, that's kind of been torn away. Yeah, and if you look at Purphoros, has like more of a spiked version of that, and then the cheek just has it's just a small hole, like a puncture from the fight in it. Hopefully that's helping with what you're asking. Yeah, about this helmet. Again, the helmet almost seems like part of his face. It's not a separate piece that's going to come off, or that he could I don't think he could take it off if he wanted to, right? It's like it is his face. The helmet is his face. And the mouth is kind of locked in that grim, very strong, Purphoros face. The nostrils are also available, but definitely too small for the ship to enter. I'm sure that might have been a suggestion of Moby as well. Let's go to the nose.
Launch Talmud in there.
I'm ready to
yeah.
live out Osmosis Jones in this episode.
And so
we're gonna head to the eye socket.
Eye socket. And so, there's this mild, very silent hum of magical energy that the hammerhead gives off of it as it approaches, and as it enters that kind of broken eye socket area, you all immediately catch it's humid in here, and it being so cold in the atmosphere outside, it's almost like being, or if you've ever like opened an oven when it's been off for like an hour but it's still warm. It's almost like he hasn't been dead that long, or whatever you might say. And so it's humid. There's a smell of like soot and muscle and metal, and immediately you all have have a gravitational pull towards your ship, but you can tell here that immediately from the power dynamics, the magic, or the lack of, there is basically no gravity once you leave your space, and that you can move through this space by using your thoughts. The structures, it's this, what I want to say here, this cavern area is immensely dark, and it seems to be like there are I'm talking about colossal remnants of like gears and cogs that are broken down in parts of the room. It almost looks like you're in a cavern. What should have been an eyeball there is nowhere to be found, since that was probably like torn out in the fight. And the ceiling slopes, high overhead, smooth, kind of metal molten walls that have very light grains of red bioluminescent veins running through them. And as towards the back of what would be the eye socket, which is this cavern to you, there is a much smaller cavern that maybe that you all can, basically a metal tubular tunnel, but of course not large enough for the ship. So it looks like this is where, as far as the hammerhead can go, it can be docked inside of the socket. But that's what you see as you look around, your initial kind of things you take in. And there's kind of like a platform that you could pull up slightly to the side of and then disembark if you need to, and head into that tunnel area after you disembark, or you can continue to look around. I'll turn it over to you all.
Did you say that we had not had a rest?
No, actually the opposite. You had an 8-hour travel.
We did have a rest?
Since you got lost, you actually got 8 hours of travel in that, because each one of those spaces on the grid is 4 hours, roughly.
Okay. Yeah. Then let's adventure on.
Anyone else? Any other thoughts? Any other ideas as you look around? Any questions?
I think... Yeah. Yes, number one fan?
You hear a voice behind you. Fitz, are you bringing Kai along with you? Or shall I look after Kai? As you turn around and you see Bartholomew.
Jason's
reaction. I love
Jason's I'm gonna zoom.
I love you, man. Perfect.
Oh, so good.
Having Kai in that castle with that scary ass vampire dude was actually the most terrifying experience of my life to date. And we've done some sketchy shit. So I don't know how comfortable I feel about putting her in danger again.
I understand.
I'm happy I can watch her as Barraclan, pipes up and says, I'm strong and all, but this place gives me the heebie-jeebies.
totally get it. And I'm sure that if you wanted to like take a joyride around, she'd be kind of cool with it. Maybe. Take your chances.
Okay, yeah, I'll think about that.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm also volunteering to come along with this something.
You know, Bartholomew, I think it would be great. Why don't you come with it? You guys can Barty come.
And I want it to be very clear because you all are bronze bullies, so you would just know this. Kind of above table, Bartholomew is Bartholomew. He is not a bronze bully. He is a squishy Spartan human. He is a hoplite. So it's not like Nick
Spartan.
went and did a level 15 version of Bartholomew. This is Bartholomew as he is.
Mhm.
That's it.
But
He's got his
being
spear, and his
an
sword, and
Akroan,
his shield. And
he would be the first to tell us that he would be happy to lay down his life for
Absolutely.
the right cause.
Yes.
Yeah, I know, but like he's a named NPC.
That's gonna die because Nick's piloting him.
See,
You know
This
what,
isn't like
Barty?
a-
You can stay. It's fine.
Mhm.
Yeah, Nick's characters literally go, life, death. Ooh.
It's an everyday
Stay
thing.
alive. We got cookies, but if you die, we have a party.
now y'all understand the face. See, I understood the implications of Nick having a named NPC from the moment he spoke.
Maybe it's better if that guy Barry comes with us. That other NPC that now has a name.
Rose's old champion. Nice.
Yeah. He's like this. He's as you say that, like he's back there like feeding a little piece of like chicken or something to Kai, and he's just kind of like ducks away like behind one of the boxes.
See,
We're
he's
good,
full
we're
of
good.
bravery.
I mean,
I can see
Bartholomew
that.
is still a follower of Purphoros, so if he wishes to join, he can.
That does also make sense. He
Just-
would be an actual follower, most likely to be closely to a follower of Purphoros than anyone else.
You can come
I
with us
feel-
if you want, Bartholomew. I just
I
want to make
feel a
sure
draw
everyone
to
makes it
this
back to the
place.
ship safely.
Just
I
for the record,
understand.
my promise only goes for the bullies, not. What do you call
An
them?
honorary bully.
Tell Moon.
He has a badge.
Slaves?
No. There are friends?
No.
Just-
No. He's been upgraded. Token 3.
No, there were 3 of them.
Grab that red
Your
shirt in the
token
corner.
human?
Come with us.
I'm wearing red.
They
He's
literally all have
wearing
red,
red
they literally all
cape.
have red capes.
Yeah. They're all red shirts.
That's great. It's literally.
That's dangerous.
No.
It's just going to
And
be
they've
us on
been,
the
they've
damn
been
ship with
dwindling.
Kai.
I think we're down to 4 of them on the ship. So, yeah.
Oh, y'all
Now I'm
didn't
gonna
say
be
that?
more
Y'all got
worried.
11 of them killed?
What?
Nobody told me
How?
nothing about these guys.
I think we have 6. If I look at my notes, I think maybe I'm exaggerating.
Oh, we had
a little bit.
13. We had started
Yeah,
with 13.
13
So
originally.
7 of
We
them.
lost like
7 of them are dead now.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Because
When-
the Archons were killing a bunch of them. That's the only thing, the attrition that was lost was the amount of. And then y'all split with the Arc before, and I remember them being like, "Can we go back and get some more Acroids?" But we had already like gone off into space.
Okay. Well, 5 is enough to.
Y'all could
handle
have
them,
hired
can't
some folk at New Sogos, but that didn't go too well with. So there was.
You mentioned a Minotaur.
I know.
That's on you,
All
sir.
bets are off.
And if we'd reacted better, we could have merged our fleet
Yeah.
with,
Yeah.
but no.
No, because she'd be all sad right now because he's dead and shit.
True.
Well, followers of
Hally
Purphoros
ho.
get the honor. First step in.
Talmoon will reach over and cast light on Bartholomew's cape. Let's go, brother.
Yes. Stepping out into space. You said that the movement, there's like no gravity.
Yeah, so the minute you leave like 10 feet outside of the ship, you begin to feel yourself weightlessly float, but you don't you can control, how you move. It's almost like you think. And I imagine for a moment everyone, has a moment of trying to get it together, and you quickly all are able to orient yourself and almost move in this very surreal, dreamlike nature.
Is our speed intelligence based?
No. I think you
Okay.
say
Talmoon just out here trying to swim. Just what's happening?
But you can move at your normal speed.
Okay.
What I will say, as you orient yourself, what you do realize is that up until this point, whenever you have come across a new body, that body floating within the Nyx has had its own air system, and very quickly there is air here. So it's not but you all immediately it has that metally taste, and it's kind of stale, and you realize that the air here is foul. It could be because, with a dying god, whatever makes that is slowly, running out. And so carrying on beyond leaving your ship, so there's a moment here where you have enough to be like, oh no, you can go back, if you need to carry on, you can still breathe, but you will give me a con save roll.
Oh no.
Bart fucking dies as soon as he gets off the ship.
Okay, Bart got a 20.
Okay. 20 sounds good. Sounds like a success.
Sophia also got a 20.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I was handed a drink and I did not hear the instructions.
Just a con save.
Oh, good.
Because the air is foul.
If you want to continue, it's a con save. You can go back
Yes.
to the ship and not have to do con save.
Oh, okay. I'll roll my con save. An 18?
All right.
I don't think I'm doing as well. Persis rolled a 6.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Is that everyone, Moby?
You lost Jason.
Yeah.
Oh, lost it. He's
Uh-oh.
coming back in. Boom. Yeah, a little hiccup in the matrix there. I'll swap you guys around. Let's put Jason
Each
back
holds
where
chairs.
Damn.
Yep, let's do
Now
the
I got the
musical.
shitty zoom.
That's what you get from Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, turn off your game, Jason.
I did roll a nat 20 on a con save that was happening.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Okay.
I'll note that.
That will
Probably already
help.
happened.
Yes. Geez, I'm trying to get everybody back. So Sophia needs to be here.
That was messed
Oh,
up.
that's been fucked up, man.
Yeah.
Mm.
But I
Oh.
think it was me that messed it up earlier, because I think that's the second time I lost connection.
Oh, yeah, that probably was because I had him
Yeah.
right for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were a wee bit scrambled.
Yeah, I was trying to talk to Persis, and I looked, and I was like, "Is that all of us? What's that doing down there?" Looked around, was like, "Oh,
Constitution, Eddie.
Constitution 7
7.
plus."
No.
0.
All right.
Where's Pythias when we need him?
All right, these all look right. Okay.
So there's just a floating monkey gasping for air.
Hey, space monkeys don't need to breathe, right?
The low numbers were fails. Everyone else sounded like they succeeded. So it sounds like Moby and Persis start to kind of struggle with the air and are poisoned for as long as the air stays foul. And so basically, no, you don't lose any hit points or anything, but we'll take a disadvantage to your skill checks and saves and such. For the time being. Now I know, Sophia, you had a perception check of, a standard of 20. Is there anyone that's 15 or higher? Okay.
Passive?
Passive.
Wait, for the
Hell
passive?
Or
no.
passive perception. Okay.
Hell
Yeah.
no.
So-
I'm at 9
I'm just
across
at
the board.
15.
Okay. So then all I want to know is then, they're sitting in that room with all the big cogs and the broken stuff, and then there's a tunnel in front of them. Are they just heading? Are they moving on? What were you going to say, Jason?
You guys technically with disadvantage on your checks would take a
Oh, okay. Yeah.
-5 to it. Yeah.
So no.
Sophia's passive is a 20.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, Moby and Persis, your passive has gone down by 5.
Usually never comes up.
Doesn't come up very often.
And so, I guess, where do they go from here? What are they doing?
Do we see any form of light besides the one on Art's Cape now? Like even
No.
if it's a dim light?
There are some very dim lights running through the cracks in the walls that kind of look like veins, right? Like they're kind of these faint red light. But here it's very dark. And like I said, there's just these. It's a bunch. It looks like a room that it's like an expansive space where, if it was a room, it would be in disrepair. It's been destroyed, and there's a ton of like rubble and debris like floating through the air, bits of metal, cogs, pieces, things like that, all jammed in the corners of the room. And I will say there's a little bit of light from the that's kind of coming from outside from the nebula. And that's just cast almost like a moonlight that's just kind of casting, allowing you to basically see those basic shapes and structures within the room.
Yeah.
It's so large, I imagine, like, for example, if you were to, like, Bartholomew's Cape, lights up, like, 20 feet in our direction, and it still doesn't do much to help.
Yeah, it's like throwing a glow stick down a mine shaft.
Yeah.
I'm imagining that he's probably like having to float backwards to get like the light as like far away as possible. Shining.
I'm going to say to help, Persis is going to summon her pseudo dragon because she still has that, just doesn't come up that often, and just like have it land on her wrist like a hawk and cast light, and just tell it try to fly around the perimeter, check the corners, doors, all that kind of thing.
Takes its wing and goes like aye and takes off and starts to fly around. And because Persis is following the eye of the pseudo dragon, Persis, can you give me an investigation check?
Okay.
I'll give you advantage since kind of like the idea of using the pseudo dragon to do this. So.
Oh right, but I should have disadvantage.
Yes.
Because
so then straight roll.
Yeah.
Investigation.
Okay. Well, I rolled 2 dice. Let me just roll 1 again.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay. 16.
Okay. And so it flies around and along like the edge, maybe 60 feet away from the tunnel that you all are standing in front of, or kind of even floating a bit in front of, as the pseudo dragon makes its way around one more time before flying back to you, you notice that in this one little area in a pocket of rubble and debris, the light that kind of flickers off of the pseudo dragon casts a little twinkle, like a little reflection back. So it seems to be something in that area had a reflective quality to it that it shined. It kind of glimmered for a second.
Okay. I'm going to tell it to head back and try to find what that is.
Okay. So it flies back over there. You see it kind of dig down and like use its little claws to like dig through the rubble. And then it seems to kind of grab something in its claws and come flying back to you. And as it lands, about to land on your arm, what it is, it drops it in your hand, Persis. And what it drops is kind of a dusty, but a diamond the size of your fist.
Ooh.
So it's like a rock.
Ooh.
This is a substantial diamond. We should hold on to this.
100%. You want to have Sophia hang on to it?
You can use these, right?
Certain rituals indicate valuable gems, yes.
Well, I have no use for it aside from the market values. I think maybe you should hold on to it.
Can I have an insight check from anyone looking at the diamond?
I'm sure Bart's looking at it. Not well. He keeps
Bart's gonna
getting
be
well.
like, natural fucking 20 for 46. Like,
that. No, that not 46, a 4.
Okay.
I was right in the first half.
It's a 5 for me.
How
23.
old is
Just
16?
slowly rises into frame with the little jewelers thing. I rolled a 21.
21. Okay. So it's Fitz who, yeah, it would make sense for Fitz to be like, ooh, like looking at it with like
A shiny thing.
And Fitz, you with a 21, you peg just looking at it, like, you know, being as the treasurer of the group, this diamond at the size has, you know, depending on the cut and all that, but like it could easily be somewhere between 3,000 to 4,000 gold pieces.
Oh, my friends, this is no ordinary gemstone. Oh, look at here.
Do you see how it's refracting the light and how it's like the size of my face? This is worth a ton of gold. Like, no offense, Sophia, but I think this is like worth a ton of gold.
And as she, I don't know, imagine her person, but as you kind of like, if you were like to dust it off a bit, it's a perfect cut, gleaming, almost like someone crafted it, you know. It like the pseudo dragon, you get the feeling that the pseudo dragon didn't claw it out of a rock. It is, you know, it was
Are we surrounded by diamonds in the walls, or is this an anomaly?
If
Lady
this
Fitz.
comes from the body of Purphoros, then it's sacred.
Did you say 4,000 gold? I was so amazed I didn't write
roughly.
it down.
It could be more, could be less, but like that's like your median, like you feel like it's worth
The
that
good
much.
middle.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the middle ground is 4K. Cool.
Lady Fitz,
Good
don't
luck letting
you
me.
have bag full of gold?
I have a bag full of gold, yes, but not a bag full of gems.
I think Kaya might be rubbing off on you.
Or maybe I'm rubbing off on Kai. Really chicken or the egg situation over here.
Never heard that.
No? You know, which one comes first? Is it the chicken or is it the egg? It's a philosophical debate we have.
I've lived in the
Vale all
woods for the
time.
past 32 years.
You gotta get out more.
I
That's
do.
why
I
you're here with
travel
us.
and bury people.
Well, do you think that there's like a reason why this gigantic, very valuable gem is here? Or is this just secretly a diamond mine?
Well, I'm no Purphoros worshiper. I know more or less the basics, maybe a little bit more than the commoner, but did like fine material. He did only use the best. He made the
It's
best.
not like he absorbed it into his being, right?
I can't answer that. I'm sorry. I don't know. You'd have to probably ask Elmoon or Taroxys.
Is it possible that he created it somehow?
Oh, easily, yes. He creates anything that's beautiful. The fact that he didn't destroy it
Maybe
must
he
mean
ate
something.
it, and that was him destroying it.
Perhaps this is just a tenth of a much larger diamond.
Much larger. Just
Do you
dollar
all
signs.
feel like mining the corpse of a god?
That's not what we're here to do.
Not when you say it like that.
Sorry, there's not really much other way to say it.
Just wipe like the drool from my mouth from looking at such a high value item.
You have a magical fucking bag that holds a ton of shit. And this diamond.
Slowly shove the diamond in.
Fitz, are you
Just
I
hang
know
on
that
to
it seems
this.
are you looking does this cause Fitz to want to like look further
Are you taking the diamond?
around
I mean,
or
I would, yeah, if I'm staring at it, I'm gonna analyze as much as I can. If I feel like I need to identify it, I could identify it, but to me, it just seems like a diamond at this point.
okay.
Is Fitz putting the diamond in the bag of holding?
I'm not putting it back.
Well, you said give it to Sophia, so I'm just curious if Fitz is keeping it now.
Sophia, do you want me to hang on to this, or do you want to hang on to this, or do you want? I have this bag.
If I take it and one of you fall, it will be used in a ritual to bring you back.
All
Which
of
will
it,
consume
though,
it.
because it's like there's so much.
I have a question for you. If Kai
Yeah.
dies, how precious is her life to you?
Oh, don't say it like that. This is.
Well, that life is precious and all, so it costs the most. I mean, it took a phoenix to bring me back.
Yes, and I'm really struggling with that choice right now because you won't let me keep this very beautiful gem.
I mean, you can keep it, but no, with that gem in my presence, you hold the life of your comrades. You hold my
You
life.
know, no
Elmoon's.
pressure at all.
No. I believe in you.
If I have 10 minutes, I'm gonna stare at it a little deeper.
Okay.
Get more dragon fucking lust in your eyes. Like, I'm just gonna take everything.
I was gonna identify it,
Identify it. Is that what you're doing?
but only when we have a 10-minute break. Like if
I
everyone's
mean, right
like,
now you
"Let's
guys are
keep
standing
moving,"
around
then
talking. So yeah, you
Right.
you guys
Yeah.
if
Are we
everyone
standing
wants
or are
to
we
move
floating?
along,
floating around talking.
I was
Yeah.
about to be like, pretty sure there's no solid ground.
We
Because
have a
Sophia's hooves are just
endlessly-
like.
No. There is there's kind of like where the ship is floating and where your crew is. Right outside of it, there's like a it's like a platform. It's built into the side of like kind of like part of the socket of the eye, and it's a ledge that is that is connected to the metal tubular hallway that goes deeper in. But yes, it's not a lot of ground, so you are kind of like floating right around there or hovering above it. But if you want, the closest place to land on is that. You can also go land on any of the like giant cog pieces and things in the room. I know it's kind of more theater of the mind in terms of what's there, but however you see it, that's kind of how it is.
I mean, in the 10 minutes it takes Fitz to identify, Sophia would just take a quick peek around, see if she sees anything. Wouldn't be traveling too far away from the group.
Yeah. Can I take an investigation check from Sophia? Give it advantage since you
Okay.
have 10 minutes.
Yeah, that checks the fuck out.
Which is nothing.
That's a 5.
Oh, okay. So Sophia doesn't find anything in the time,
Nah,
but at the
it's a lot
10
of metal.
minutes, yeah, it's a lot of metal, a lot of dust, a lot of debris floating around. What Fitz identifies as it's just an impeccable diamond. It's
Impeccable.
now here's the funny thing is like this isn't quite in. I guess I have because you're using ritual to cast identify. I'll add that I would have not have normally added to. It is definitely a key to something, and the reason you know this is the weird thing is your spell is not identifying exactly what it's used for, but the reason you know is because like the diamond is so like it's cut in a way that like a human crafter would cut a diamond into shape. It's not a natural rock, and so and I will say it has a celestial magical quality. Almost like this is organic to Purphoros' body and form. So when you guys were asking questions around, are there just like, magical
He's just
rubies
made
and
of
high
diamonds?
precious? Well, because remember, he's made of precious metal, and like he's made of what the mountain was made of. So yes, so essentially all the above. There's
yes.
probably
Not to get morbid, so you're telling me we could try and melt this man down? I have all steel weapons.
You're telling me you think Talmud would be cool with that?
I mean,
Y'all could certainly try.
Who's gonna miss a nipple?
This is Telmud's villain turn. He's just like you see the do you see the horns on Telmud's hand right now? Look at Jason.
Who's gonna miss a nipple?
By the way, I don't know if you did that on purpose, but it's perfect. Like
It is perfect.
The horns come
I
off his
did it.
hand like perfect. That's great. Love it.
Just a happy accident.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not gonna be hard to fight Talmud. He's not the smartest.
Peroxys?
Who knows? Maybe he's holding back.
Yeah, because you know where he goes.
Charm
Taraxis goes.
person, which is Fitz's bread and butter.
I do have that.
You're in Strahd game all over again. Here we go.
Oh god. You guys.
Bronze or
after
steel?
Looking at this a little closer, I can tell that we probably will need this later for something.
And then runs away.
I'm gonna go spend it.
Okay, bye.
Hey, we're gonna need this later. Bye bye.
I'm so sorry.
All right, so we only got one way to go. Technically, the DM has said we could just go start jumping on cogs. I mean, I'm looking at the Purphoros worshippers here. You're leading this the way Sophia thinks.
Fucked all of you. No, we should probably go and try to see what's causing this foulness in the air.
Yes. Everything here should be blessed and touched by Purphoros.
Actually, that's a good point. Sophia knows a lot about death. Granted, this is a fucking god.
It's a god. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. I think there are limitations with this. If there are limitations, they would be here. But I mean, I allow her to make checks, or
What's the
you can tell me.
decomposition rate of a god in a vacuum?
That we don't know. I will say that I'll say that some of the common knowledge that we've explored so far, the idea that the god beyond the Nyx is a god that essentially what you would say the closest thing to died, and it was essentially that they basically there's this idea that when gods die they petrify and they just kind of become shells of themselves, these bodies, these constellations that float around. And I imagine, I guess you can imagine with that comes, I imagine, a slow decrease until there is nothing of their celestial presence. So but we don't know that degradation and how quickly it happens or how long it does.
or if it causes this sort of foul nature, or if this is something different.
Well, and one thing I to clarify, try to make clear is that I think you all would also know that, well, maybe not. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. Yeah, that they don't. Yeah, maybe this is where the foul nature is coming from as well. I'll agree with you, Tell Moon.
I don't want to take up any more time, so
That's
I could cast Commune and ask THEROS if this is what happens to a god dying. But that would take an additional 10 minutes, which means we'd be wasting 20 minutes total.
How dare we stay in one place for
I
20 minutes?
will say
without a-
this is this is not, you had a real crazy fight so far. This is I think that I know they know that time is of the essence, but this is you're searching for an artifact. It takes some plotting and some.
We're in a
some time
race.
and
Let's be
preparation.
real.
Yeah, you are, but I imagine that it's not a race that you could argue that rushing could cause you to make certain mistakes. So I could also argue, I can understand their thought pattern around trying to be like, okay, maybe we should slow things down a bit.
We can't have the Murder King get 2 pieces and we have 2 pieces. That will be
We do have the
Party
last
white.
piece.
I also meant to ask everyone during the 8 hours, did anyone well, I mean, because I know you could take a rest and technically not sleep, but did everyone nap at least? Did everyone sleep?
Yeah.
Sophia definitely did, knowing what she's seen.
Okay.
That brings her amazing comfort.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Did we say that Persis can rest and fly the ship at the same time?
That's a good. I think that I would imagine that Persis can set a course and then rest, for a few hours while the ship is on that course, and then come back
Autopilot?
to you and yeah, kind of autopiloted. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
not. Spelljammer rules are so finicky and light. Yeah, that makes sense with the at least 5th edition Spelljammer rules, the way they wrote the book. Like the use of mending on the ships is just insanely silly. but there you go. Yeah, so I would say that. Yeah, so you're fine as well. So why don't I take a first I'll ask this. Are you communing, Sophia?
If the party allows me, she will do that out of
Okay.
curiosity.
I'd like a regular old wisdom check from everyone. I'll take an advantage one from Sophia.
This is just adding wisdom modifier, right?
Yep, just your wisdom modifier. No skill
Okay.
behind this at all.
17.
By the way, Mal, are we recording?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Did you want me to pause or something, or you were just checking to make sure I didn't make the same mistake as before? Yeah, we're recording.
I felt like just making sure because Jason
Okay,
usually
no.
says it.
Yep.
No, he said it. He said he was when he turned it on
You're
earlier.
good. Yep,
Okay.
we're an hour 18 in so far, so we're good. So Fitz, the only thing you missed is everyone. If you during the 8 hours that we traveled here, if you slept at all, I need a wisdom check from you. Not an insight, just a regular straight wisdom roll.
And not a save, it's just a
Not
roll.
a save, just a wisdom. Yeah.
15.
Okay.
Means we all did real well.
Okay, so I got 21 from Moby, 22 from Sophia. Okay. And so I'm just gonna take those numbers and table them for now because I should have asked for them a while ago, so I'll just keep those. Let's see. With your commune, Sophia.
Contact your deity or divine
Yep, what are
proxy
you
and
asking?
ask 3 questions.
Okay.
First question would be, is this what happens when a god dies?
And seeing as Athreos is a silent god, with your eyes closed, Sophia, you begin to see those rivers kind of branching out before you. And then you're able to get in this trance-like state where it looks like the Nyx, just stars above and below. But what it is really what you realize is you're sitting like you're standing, but you're kind of prostrate, you know, as a centaur down, your like bodies drop down into with your, you know, like how a horse would sit to rest or sleep. And you're sitting on water. And so there's this pure, clear reflection of space both above and on the water. And on the horizon, you can see Athreos standing there with his oar and motionless, looking down on you, just nods. Yes.
Is Purphoros gone forever?
And then the god, kind of this very, you know, lanky, almost skeletal figure, but not. It, you know, just the skin is very frail, but the cloak that he wears billows stars of the Nyx within it. And it shakes its head. No.
Well, yes or no questions. That's the shitty part. Oh, I want to ask him why he's back to work. Is Erebos still in the underworld?
Shakes his head. He looks out to the beyond, looks back down on Sophia. Shakes his head no.
That's all right. That's my 3 questions.
And then he takes his long finger and begins to point off into your periphery, off to the corner. And as you follow the finger to where it's pointing, you kind of snap out of your vision, and where the finger would have been pointing is the tunnel ahead.
Our answer is going to be on this tunnel. We have to go. We can't waste any more time about diamonds or asking questions.
Well, I'll just hang on to this impeccable diamond until we need it for later.
I'll be at the ready.
Oh.
Very well.
Sophia will
Onward.
just look down at Telmoon, and I'm assuming Telmoon and Taroxys have been traveling side by side since we started doing the journey into Purphoros' head. And one hand will go on Telmoon's shoulder, and the other will go on Taroxys. And just not looking at either one of them, just go, you two still have hope. Don't ever lose it.
Then we move forth.
And as they begin to move forward, Sophia remembers she had a moment on the ship when she was resting, where she kind of woke up in a cold sweat, in that weird way where you have a nightmare but you can't quite piece it together. But after communing with THEROS, the nightmare or the dream is very clear, and it comes back to her, and she's thrust back into it for a moment. And what she remembered dreaming is that she was on a little skiff, on this little boat, and she was with this ragged figure, a ferryman of THEROS, and they were wading through darkness, and she could hear cries and moans and constant tapping on the sides of the boat, of the skiff. And at some point she holds out her staff, and she casts like illumination in the dream, and what she sees is a sea of black, oily humanoid creatures all clawing out on the boat, like begging to be taken. And the light that she shines, what happens is, beyond, way down deep in the darkness, another light goes off like a torch, and from very faint, what she can see is she can make out a couple of the figures, the heroes that are down, that were cast into the underworld, and the only one that kind of stands out, maybe from the way she sees it, from what Proxenos used to tell her, is about the stories, is Penthos, the Acroian soldier fighting with others back to back, and she sees a Leonin as they're all fighting, but those black oily figures are just like climbing over them, and their light is going out, and that's what made her wake up in a cold sweat. And we'll take a 5-minute break.
Ooh.
Oh my.
Oh
Shit.
my.
Curious if that Leonin is a certain character I know of, or if it's. Is it a Johnny Gold fucking main? He's like, are you using that? Or is it the prep? Is it problem playing a damn magic? Yeah, I'm like, is it Nick's old character, or is it literally an NPC that is like a planeswalker, a Johnny Gold main, which is technically from THEROS?
Sophia never
And it
met.
wouldn't.
Well,
I did. It was just in the form of his spirit when I summoned
You
him.
did see his spirit.
did see a spirit, so yeah.
I know all of the fallen bullies.
Yeah, it would be a fallen bully. You would know it to be.
Okay.
By the way, Mal,
Yes.
I sent you something over Discord.
Oh, okay. I had closed Discord before game, so I'll need to open that back up, because
Yeah, I
sometimes
understand.
it bloops and blips the counts while we're playing, and I don't know how to turn it off.
Yeah, be on stream mode, man.
In settings, there's something called streamer mode, and that will turn off
Oh.
all notifications and stuff like that.
Now I know I need to go do that. Streamer mode, there it is. Boom. Perfect. Ooh, okay. I like it. I love it, actually. All right.
I had to go Google this because I'm like, they got a THEROS card named Johnny.
Yeah,
But
that's interesting.
it is a Johnny. He's
Johnny.
just not.
Oh,
Yeah, he's just.
Yeah.
I was like, Johnny Goldman.
Johnny
hell?
Goldman.
Johnny Goldman.
Yeah, he's pretty classic. I see him all the time.
Yeah, you're not gonna give that. You're not gonna give that to us because we're just gonna steal his weapon and put it on and put it on Apo and
Oh,
have
yeah.
him just have 97 weapons that he doesn't know he has, and he's just.
that he
Karen.
never uses.
Mhm.
Oh man.
Or on Taroxy's, where he turns them into like utility belt, and my boy be out here like, oh yeah, like my weapons be collapsing, and are you sure?
I thought he had like a Switch Army arm or something like that, where it's like like an opening up, and then it just like ring comes out.
I don't know what he got, but he got something. Got something special. Can't wait.
Something special.
Well, I'll do my best. Who knows? It's possible that I might do because I'll probably be fighting traffic to get back. So if Mal doesn't mind me being a voiceless just watcher in the background, I'll probably try to listen in.
Yeah,
So I have a feeling
need
it's
more
gonna
number
be
one fans.
I have a feeling it's gonna be pretty important, whatever's gonna happen next episode. For at least for between Taroxys and Telemoon, it might be pretty important, so I don't want to miss the whole thing.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'll probably
I
be
mean,
home by like this time though, so I might be able to get in like 2/3 of the way through.
That should be good. I mean, this is your god after all. Going inside his petrified body.
Yeah. Yeah.
Looting his corpse. Wahahaha.
The biggest mineral vein.
Y'all know color spray is for the entire party, right? Like that's just everybody. Everybody included. That's Oprah. That's saving throws for everyone. Which is why I try not to cast it too much, because it's like, oh, Malcolm got 97 bad guys on the field. Cool. Color spray. Let's go. Which in my head is just a Care Bear stare, but I just don't know how to meld that with Telmoon.
That's amazing.
Oh.
You could name it like Purphoros' ire or something like that.
Good. I could. Have all my friends link arms. Just do it together.
Stare him down.
Are we just gonna do the Guardians of the Galaxy thing?
I was telling them that in my head that color spray is just a Care Bear stare. I just haven't been able to put that together into game yet. If my friends,
I want to know what the symbol on your chest is for it to come out of.
Chest.
Care Bear shit came out of here, bro.
Hey, that was an indistinct body area connected to the torso. We have no idea what orifice was using. He was got Peck Lightning out here, like we don't know. That could have been a navel, for all we know.
Horrible.
Nick, were you not blessed with the Care Bears?
I was not.
Oh man.
I was not.
I think it might be a slightly different era.
Mm-hmm.
Care Bears used to put in work.
Mm-hmm. Just like you probably miss. I know I've put in a few Captain Planet gifs. Like you probably missed those references too.
I missed
the
Captain
hero.
Planet.
So fucking Nick, bro, we need to talk. There's a lot of cartoons you gotta watch too.
Yeah, man.
I missed that. I missed G.I. Joe.
To be fair, I wasn't like G.I. Joe. Didn't do it for me.
I mostly grew up on a lot of SpongeBob.
Bro, we were adults.
That's like
we were
20
adults
years
back-
later,
yeah.
man.
All
Damn.
of us was like grown people when
You didn't
SpongeBob was
grow up
airing.
on like SWAT Cats or like Street Sharks.
Yeah, you mean all the Ninja Turtle knockoffs that they tried to make?
Yes.
Hey, fuck off. Some of those
Wait a
were
minute.
sweet.
I
The
think
Mighty
I actually
Ducks?
watched SWAT
Mice
Cats.
from Mars was awesome.
Yeah, I did watch
SpongeBob
SWAT
is
Cats.
pretty good.
Okay. At least you got that far. There's just a lot of TMNT knockoffs that you gotta watch because there's only like one or two seasons.
Did anybody see the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Hell no.
Refuse.
Okay. My buddy told me it's
the
actually
art
pretty
style.
good.
I'm
So,
sorry.
he
Like
actually said it was pretty good. So I don't know.
art style wise, yeah, it's very
Our
much
style looked
like
pretty good. Yeah.
it's very much a Spider-Man
Across the.
Spi-
By the way,
Yeah.
that shit was. I just finally saw it, and that was fire. I don't know.
They're
I
my
loved
two.
it.
They my two favorite superhero movies.
That shit was so good, man. That ending,
like they decided to like
oh my god,
go hard on the animation and that shit.
Yeah. Like
It was like a love letter to comic books, in a weird way, like the styles and like the different tones. And I thought that was because I think the story's so it's kind of silly, the whole multiverse concept, but the way you depict that and tie that with art to me, like really, really worked. Really worked. Yeah. But yeah, so
But yeah, no, the new TMNT where they're like kids, like legitimate kids. I'm like, nah.
yeah,
can't do it.
yeah. I'll check it out when it comes out later.
Will
on
Ferrell said he
streams.
put 4 teenagers in a room and just had them talk shit. Or not Will Ferrell, what's his name? Seth Rogen. He said he just
Oh.
had 4 teenagers in a room, had them talking shit, and then fed them lines on occasion so that it felt like
Interesting.
real organic. And I'm like, I don't need organic teenage assholes like that. Get that out of here. Like these are preteens. Those kids
Yeah.
are like 14.
We need teenage assholes.
We'll jump back in once Nikki and Eddie are back. But
Supposed
yeah,
to
we
be
can just kind of
brutal.
chat while we're
It's supposed to be Iron Fist. It's brutal.
Well, we've never had. I mean, but that's the thing is the fair assessment is we've never really had the comic book Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles ever depicted.
No,
No,
I
but
mean,
we're about to get a dope ass video game.
Yeah,
The first movie wasn't crazy
It
either.
was, it was good.
It was all right.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it's just, maybe it's nostalgia, but I always enjoy it when I watch it. It's not the best movie, but I enjoy it whenever time I see it.
That's the
That
closest
movie-
thing we
Guys
had to the
got
right term.
30 seconds.
Oh, did
I quote
Nick,
that movie all the damn time.
Did Nick tell you that he ended up watching the original Mortal Kombat film?
Classic.
Against my better judgment, I watched the second one.
Oh,
Listen,
Yeah,
to be
let's
fair,
go.
I'm gonna say this: you have to. You can't just stop at the first one when there's a sequel, no matter how
It-
shitty that
yeah,
sequel
this is true. You gotta watch them. You gotta watch them.
It was so jarring that they
it's-
switched almost all the actors.
can.
It's so bad. It's
so
terrible.
Yeah, yeah.
There's nothing good about it.
There's nothing good
No
about
one
it.
wanted to come back to do
Yeah.
the sequel.
Yeah, no, Annihilation was different, but there is an answer to that question. Troy, Human Centipede. There are times where we had enough the first time.
Yeah, no, that I
Yeah.
refuse to watch any of the others.
What's
Well,
gonna happen?
okay. Human Centipede, Hostel.
Yeah,
No,
I'm good.
Hostel. I watched some more.
Shut
Hostel.
the
You want
fuck
some
up.
more
No.
I
Hostel?
watched some more Hostel.
See,
Get the hell out of here.
That
There's
was
there's a problem with movies
Saw?
like Hostel and
Kill
Saw
it.
is that I think the first movies are good in a way that they have a context. They have something they're trying to tell you. And then everything after that is essentially torture porn. Like,
Yeah,
you know
no,
what I'm
it
saying?
is.
Like they lose all the
The
context.
first
that
3
story-
films of Saw are pretty
Yeah.
good.
They're pretty good. Yeah. And
After
then
that-
you're like, okay.
Saw's Kanye West, man. You gotta hit them odd number saws, man. They're not that bad.
I gotta,
Just throw them evens
That's
out.
why I'm not really hopeful for Saw 10.
Oh my god, I'm so
Yeah,
I
no.
have cancer, but now I have
Listen,
I
I
don't
know this
it's
dude
just
needs a
tough.
paycheck, but just do a different movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
10 is excessive. I didn't realize we had gotten that high.
And then the spin-off Spiral, I didn't.
Spiral.
okay.
It was okay.
It wasn't
yeah.
great. I was like, okay. Weird
Yeah.
seeing Chris Rock in this style of film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't bad. Like it just,
No.
I don't know. It just wasn't great. It just, I don't know. But that's how horror, especially that kind of horror, can be just feel like fodder. It's hard to find like good.
Child's Play 1 and
shit.
2, fine, but once it starts getting into Chucky bullshit, stop watching.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I said it.
Once the character becomes kind of like a joke or a commentary on itself,
Yeah.
like, like a.
Did
Okay.
anybody
Joker, it's
anybody
just
watch
kinda
the new
over.
one? Well, Aubrey Plaza?
I don't remember.
Oh yeah, with what's his name? Mark Hamill as Chucky?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it. It's
Let me see that
terrifying
one.
just for the sheer fact that it's like wireless bullshit.
Yeah, it's the first Chucky that I was like, oh shit. Because when I was a kid,
I did see
that
that
was my
one.
thing.
Yeah.
I was scared of every other movie, but I was like, why aren't we beating up this little This
just
is a doll.
field goal kick him.
Yeah.
Little 5-year-old, like, we got this dude. Like, what is this?
Just
But-
Vinatieri his ass through the uprights, and he's dealt with.
Yeah, but this new, like, I'm about to
I
take
think-
over
I
your
think it
life,
feels like-
Chucky. It's
Yeah.
different.
No, this
That's
new
it, though.
Chucky, it's like, yo, I can control drones, your house, all your appliances. Fuck.
I still think there's something to be said about it, because I think you always, as a horror watcher, you always go, "Yeah, I would just punt the doll." But I think like the sheer fear of seeing a doll run across the room at you is
No.
gonna cause you to like. You don't think you're gonna like
If
kind of like
anything is below
lose
my
instinct for a
kneecap,
second?
I kick it in the face. What?
exactly.
And I imagine
Dogs.
that Chucky
Dogs.
has.
It doesn't matter.
I imagine that Chucky
punting
has a
it.
certain level of like
I apologize,
magical
Nikki
strength,
Moms. There's a
systemic
reason why some of us don't have children yet. You know, I gotta let that kicking leg die out before that 3-year-old comes into my room in the
Stop
middle
it.
of the night.
Oh my God.
Yes. Me and Jason are so.
Sorry, Nikki's mom.
We apologize.
Guys, kill
No,
me.
Yeah,
seriously.
They
Did
are
you
like
hear
little
they're
Chucky.
making a third My Big Fat Greek Wedding? That's what I'm excited
I didn't know
about.
there was a second one.
I love how
I didn't know
we're
there
talking
was a
about horror.
second.
He's like,
Nikki's like, change that
33.
subject.
I don't even know that movie.
Movies I have
No,
never.
no,
You
My
don't know
Big
that?
Fat Greek Wedding?
Do you
I
know
mean-
Mamma
Yeah.
Mia?
It's kind of a girl
Don't
movie.
do
I
it.
guess
Heard
I
about it.
understand. The delight. It's a
Isn't
delight.
that one of those movies
is
that
fun.
like
Do you
didn't
know who
Mamma Mia
ABBA
come out the
is?
same weekend as Dark Knight? Or
yes.
something like
Yes.
that? Yeah.
There was a fight between the two for sure.
It's- yeah.
But Dark
They
Knight,
didn't
obviously.
come together like a Barbenheimer.
By the Barbenheimer, yeah.
Far.
Which I haven't seen Barbie
Is
yet.
that
but I
what
have
that
seen
shit's being
Oppenheimer.
called now?
It's been called
Yeah.
Barbenheimer.
It's
yeah.
been
That's the
being
worst.
called
It's been.
that.
That's the
called
worst.
Barbenheimer.
It's been
I was
that.
so mad when they was out here talking about, oh, Oppenheimer had an extra 5 million in the box office because Barbie was sold out and people had to go watch. I was like, yo, like, we about to fight
That's
right
bullshit.
now. Like, come out here.
Yep.
Start talking about my boy. No,
Oppenheimer's
one more
cast
game.
is stacked.
It is awesome. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Though
was-
I didn't know I needed to go and like Google this dude. Like that was different. Like I thought it was gonna be Manhattan Project.
No.
I
You
didn't know it
didn't
was
do
gonna
a
be.
full history report on him.
I didn't know I
beforehand?
had to go Duolingo some Dutch before I showed up. Like this was
Mhm.
different.
Oh, you saw it? You saw it, Jason?
Yeah,
You
I
we
had
was
have
gonna
to-
say that
did you
the
enjoy it?
actor
you-
did.
Yeah.
That actor did learn those lines just
Yeah.
for the movie. And
Still
Dutch.
in-
That's fantastic.
Top notch, top level. Everything he does, bro. Don't
Oh,
stop.
Oh, he's fucking amazing.
You know, he tried out for Batman first. He was.
Oh yeah.
He was gonna be, and then they
I've
went
seen
with
the untamed
Bale.
footage.
Yeah,
Not
with
good,
him in
but
the
I've seen
outfit. Yeah, with him in the
I
in the
wouldn't.
outfit.
I mean, he's just too little for me. But Cillian,
Yeah,
but as a scarecrow though,
yeah.
I honestly cannot wait for 28 years later.
They're coming
Yeah.
out with another one.
Yeah, and he's
And
reprising
he's-
his role.
Oh
Yes.
wow!
yeah,
With the way
Cillian
they
don't
make
miss.
movies these days, I get
So forward
scared.
to
But
that.
that does sound like I got a little heart flutter.
Like, I
over
won't
it.
lie,
That
the
could be
second one,
good.
not that great.
Yeah, no, that first one though.
That
I mean,
oh,
that's
God,
where-
so brutal.
That's like the zombie movie that changed zombie movies for a while. You
Yeah.
know, you're like, the zombies are running. Like, what is going on? Like, it's
Full sprint. What the shit?
and I loved it. Like, they're not dead. They're just people with rabies. You know, like you contract that shit in like
Yeah.
20 seconds and like it's over. That's a, yeah.
See, that was a cool because I was also one of them cats who'd be like, zombie, I'm good. Zombie
Zombies don't
survival.
work.
Let me get some yellow book. Let me get some phone books. Tie those to me. Give me a katana. We
Yeah,
out here.
All right, OG, triple OG.
But then you start getting 28 days later, and
Yeah, it's scary.
what did Will Smith do?
Just a mob.
That nonsense. I can't
Oh,
even
I Am
remember it
Legend?
because he
I
made me
Am
cry.
It was
Legend.
Jeremy
Those-
Reiner.
Those are
28 days later.
vampires.
Those
Technically,
are vampires.
I Am
yeah, I mean, all
technically,
that.
they're
yeah.
zombie
I Am-
vampires.
yeah.
I Am Legend. Is that what you're
All
I
that
Am
mess.
Legend.
Yeah, I'm like, nah, like we're not
Yeah.
playing none of this nonsense.
Though the
Like,
dog
these-
scene. Oh
I
man,
heard
hurts
they're
my
making a
heart
sequel to
every
that.
single time.
a sequel to I Am Legend.
They're going off the alternate ending where he doesn't blow up. He
Stop
just
it.
like I know. I'm not happy about it either.
Yeah, they just have to leave. Just leave shit alone.
You mean like John Wick 4
Yeah.
alternate? Just like
Shut the fuck up.
I'm
Or
still.
The Matrix Reloaded.
That is the only movie franchise I have given a perfect 10 because it is literally storytelling from 1 to 4.
Is
And
it?
they're going with a 5, and I'm like, you just ruined the whole thing.
Yeah.
You didn't
That's
feel
how
a
I
dip.
feel
You
about
didn't feel a
Toy
dip at 3?
Story 2.
Not at all.
Once you went into Toy Story 4, the whole thing's ruined. This is
You
how
just
I can
mad at
relate
that
to you
spork,
guys.
and spork needs more love.
Fuck that spork. Fuck that spork. I hate it.
Because little kids be doing that. That's real. I'll be like, I spent $900 on this toy for you. Oh, you gonna play with the box?
Yeah,
Alright.
children are basically cats, but
See if Santa
Children
ever
are
come back.
basically
See if Santa ever come back.
on that
Can we
level,
get that in a shirt?
Yeah.
that should be on a shirt. Oh,
you know, you
man.
buy them a cool dollhouse, they play with the box. That's very much cat behavior.
Yeah, got a point
They
there.
just want to sleep all the time, unless they're
Well,
running
well,
around.
I wish
also,
kids
cat
wanted
behavior.
to sleep all the time. Yeah, that thing, that
Mal's
mine
pretty sleep
doesn't.
deprived, probably.
Yeah, mm-mm.
One day.
One day she'll sleep. So.
Round age 4, 5. Get some sleep.
Oh man, yeah, that was this. Okay, well,
We apologize for the
the horror.
tangents.
No, it's good. We haven't played in a while, so you need a little chit chat. You know,
Yeah.
I'm good with it as long as you was good with it.
Yeah.
Sound like I heard you said you might need to hop off, Jason, and travel, or was that another?
Next
That's
week.
for the next
Yeah,
week.
next week. Next
Okay,
week.
okay.
Yeah, next week I'm coming
Got it.
this way, so I'm gonna be late.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, you might be able to hop on and listen if you think that can work. Yeah.
Yeah, like if you can find a way to either get rid of my box or make my box not mess anything up.
Yeah, I
If
can just
not,
make it
then
a
I
black
wanna mess
box,
with
and
the
I can
box.
just put your image over it, like the sexy, handsome Telmoon.
Oh yeah, you should
AI
just do that
person.
anyway. I don't know why this is ever here when you can have all that Jimon Hansu Telmoon for everybody.
That's
You're
another
welcome.
underrated actor who did.
You're
do
welcome
not
to
use-
all the moms out
do
there,
not
or whatever
use
your
right.
flavor is, because that's
Oh man, this episode. All right.
D&D After Dark. We're here.
Yes, there we are. We're here. So, well, I'll try to establish where we're at. This is all I imagine they've been having all these little conversations as their like voices echo through this metal hall. They come out on the other side, and again, I described before that smell of like metal and soot. There's no gravity in this space, and what they see is this vast, stretching space, right? That goes hundreds of feet up into darkness, 100 feet down below into darkness, and it's challenging to kind of discern like where even the walls are in the space, and what only thing that kind of allows you to make those out are those faint bioluminescent red veins running through the metal, and the fact that there are these little flecks of embers, like little flames, little embers that are like something's burning or constantly floating around, casting a bit of a red glow in this very dark space. On your left, you're all kind of, if you could stand, you could float, but below you is a bit of another ledge, and then to the left, that ledge goes over, for you all would be like maybe a couple 100 feet into another cavernous eye socket, right? The other side. And then below you, which would probably descend down into the jaw area, is just a dark space. And then above you, there is more profound darkness. But up above, very faintly, there in the dark, you can make out what looks kind of like the embers that are floating by you now, but you shouldn't really be able to make them out, but you can make out what would be like little embers of little flames above you in the darkness, floating around in the void, swirling in that darkness above. that's the scene, that's the situation. Where do they go next? Or what do they do next? What do they talk about? Turn over to you. A little bit of a slower burn tonight as they explore, but
Does it seem like the smell's getting stronger?
There's no, it doesn't actually. But good good question.
Roxy's Talmud. Bartholomew, do you wish to travel to the Embers since you're his worshippers? He won't be far behind. But if you wish to travel to the other eye socket, we can do that before.
Should see what's left.
Yes. And so they begin to kind of continue. Tell me. I don't want to jump in.
No. That's fine.
Okay. So they're going to check out, see what's left. You said of the eye socket.
Oh no, we were gonna go to try to commune with these embers, like Sophia.
Oh,
recommended.
up into the embers. Okay, got it. So they all begin to kind of float up, piercing.
Sophia's
up.
going to stay away from the three, about like 30, 40 feet away.
Okay.
Just giving them their space for this moment for them.
How do you? And so you're just. Can you maybe I'll so basically what Sophia's doing is giving me a visual reference for how she's traveling. What's everyone else kind of doing? What might this is kind of like similar to us in a dungeon saying what's the marching order or how are you all sounds like Telmoon's the Pathfinder, I guess, in terms of it being ahead, but
Bartholomew in the front with Roxy's in and Telmoon. All those three are pushing ahead, so yeah.
Okay.
And
I'd still stay with Sophia.
So towards the rear, about 30 feet away, you said. Imagine Apple stays there. How about Moby?
Yeah, I mean, my guess is I'll probably stay back as well.
Okay.
You said the area ahead is kind of a large void.
Yeah, so it's like seems like you're floating up because basically you're going up into where like the brain or the would be, but it's so dark you don't know. And you can all you can see is these little like flames floating around, and so you would almost need to, fly up and get closer several hundred feet. Just kind of just travel through the void to see if you can make out what they are. That's basically what it is.
Actually, Moby will actually ask the three going forward, like, hey, is it okay for me can I come along or should I stay?
Moby I look at Moby and then look at Bartholomew and then look back at Moby. I'm like, you're a bully. You can always welcome. Do you want to go in front?
I'll go in front.
Let's go.
Okay. And as they begin to float up, I need a stealth check from Bartholomew and Telmoon.
Oh, rest in peace, Bart.
You can do it.
This might not go well for your boy either.
Okay, that's not the worst thing. That's a 16.
It's also a 16 for Telmoon.
Okay.
You're on par with the bully. You're good, Bart.
Okay.
The metal bully, yes.
And so 16 for both of you is what I heard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And as they float up, it feels like you're traveling forever, and it almost feels like you're in the depths of, an ocean. And it's kind of unnerving, I imagine, for all of you. You've never been in so much darkness, even with the little bit of light that's around you. And is there any light source on Telmoon right now, or is he kind of just...
Bartholomew is the light.
The cape is still
lighting.
on. So the cape is just, so that should give me one more roll here. Okay. Suddenly, like as you get closer and closer, what Telmoon spots is these flames. Telmoon and Bartholomew and Taroxy see it first. Is that there is a first of all, what you start to see is make out is the flames that are floating around are human-sized skulls. They're all bronzed, and they have little machinations on them, like some of the eyes are like cogs, but there's a spectral kind of fiery red flame to each of them. And they are floating around, kind of like fish, kind of like constantly darting in different directions, but they haven't seen you yet. There are at least 10 of them. Above them, there are even more swirling around. What you can barely make out is like a red crystal, like a giant crystal, and kind of bit of like it pulsates a bit, but it looks like it should be like a fiery red, but it's very deep and crimson, and the light inside of it looks like it is faltering. It's like flickering, but they seem to be swimming around it, protecting it. But they haven't spotted you, and so
do they seem to be like something that would naturally come of Purphoros, or something that's like probably...
I'll tell you a honest answer without a check, but I'll give you more information if you succeed this. So give me a
0 chance, but let's go.
Give me I would call this. I'll take you the religion
acrobatics.
Or history.
Oh, okay.
Religion or history here.
It's a 10. Got the double digits.
Okay, so I was going to give you something anyway. So I'll give you. You know that, Purphoros is a creator and a destroyer of things, and these things, they all have his kind of power of flame. They look like anvil wrought skulls, and so in that way, they could be very well crafted, by the maker, by him. That's all I would share.
In a low voice.
Can I have a perception check from you, Telmoon?
You said that like I didn't roll the last time. Did you mean like from you, Bartholomew?
Actually, let's get Bartholomew. Bartholomew, you give me one as well.
Do you also have a -1 to perception? Because I rolled a 3.
Bart has a +2.
Okay.
Bart got 19.
19. So Bartholomew 19. So Bartholomew, you hear something off to your left in the dark, and it seems to be, you don't even know the wall's there, but it must be there, and you hear a skittering, like something scattering up the wall. And as you look towards it, one of the skulls above you hasn't looked down at you yet, but it turns towards the skittering, and just its eyes light up, and then that area just goes, and a huge like explosion of fire rolls out in that area, and you hear something kind of go and fall off the wall into the void.
Taking kind of that like failing stance and backing up a little bit, lower voice.
And is there a way, does Bartholomew keep the cape on, lit?
Wait, he can't affect that.
Yeah.
That's Telmoon.
Telmoon, basically what I'm asking is, Telmoon, seeing this, do you keep him lit? Or just how do you react? How do you all react? You know.
Lower voice. There's something crawling up the walls. I hear it from over there.
It's clearly dead now too. But
Talmoon,
I think everyone
Talmoon
now saw
turns
the
the light
explosion.
off
Like,
and says, "You got to be scared of the bug from that." But he does
No.
turn. He does.
as the light
drop
goes
his
off,
light.
a couple of the skulls kind of like hover with each other, and like they're kind of like they almost have like contraptions built into like their skulls. So like one socket kind of looks like it has like a monocle, and kind of moves in and out like what would be like a telescopic lens, looking down exactly where you all are, but not seeing anything. And then they turn back and kind of go back into like this rhythm of like floating around.
Clearly hunting something else.
I assume that they're hunting intruders. But if anything, I don't know, we're probably the most qualified to be the ones. We are the champions, right? Does it seem like the lights were these guys, or is there something else that's floating that they're kind of protecting?
The lights, those little flame, the little embers you were seeing, because they were so far away, they're these things. And they're floating around the massive crystal high above. And there's like, right now you're in that one layer where you'd have to even get past them, right, to get even higher up towards it. I will say you can't tell if because when you turn the light off, they looked in your direction, but they may not just see you because there's no light, so you don't know if they will attack you as well, like they attacked whatever was skittering on the wall.
I don't see a way around going to that crystal. I turn back to the party. I know the three of us need to go. How do you guys feel?
It looks like that's what we came here for.
It's the only path forward, right?
There were there other directions to go in? We went in a different direction to go follow the
so
embers.
when you got through the tunnel, there's the second cavern, that's the eye socket 2. There's down, and then there was up. So there was at least 3 different ways to go. Right now you guys are heading straight up.
In the upward direction?
And yes, in the upward direction, and those embers turn out to be these like floating metal skulls that like can blast and blow things up with like basically that are casting like fireball, because you guys didn't know it, so you would know the spell when seeing it.
Should we maybe peek our heads around the corners, maybe the other 2 directions, and see if there's something we want to do in that direction, or are we focused on
I'm sure
certain death?
I don't think that crystal is our... Now look at Persis. I don't think it's the piece. But Taroxes and I have to go.
Why?
It's important, right?
If there's a chance, it's going to be that way. Right, Sophia?
Don't lose hope.
Falling from Lord Purphoros.
All I say is be careful. And before they go, Sophia will put 2 fingers to her lips, kiss them, and plant it on Talmoon's forehead, and cast Death Ward.
Need our help, or do you want to do this on your own?
Don't turn away assistance, but this is our path. It's on you whether you want to brave it.
Well, you are
You can always-
friends.
You can always just clear the path a little bit for them.
There's no harm in making it easier for them to traverse the path they have to take.
But ultimately, it's their test.
If you'll
I hope
accept
you-
help, I'll give it.
Also, Sophia will pull out Moon's symbol and return it to him. You may need this a lot more now than ever.
Have you like Lisa Frank did, or is it?
It has a slight glow to it. The glow is not of Purphoros by any means. It has a slight dull greenish yellow tint glow to it.
Corrupted it. Great. Thank you.
Well, I mean, what other color are you gonna say of a River of Souls?
Oh, yeah. Tillman will tuck it into his. What are we wearing? Togas? I don't. We've changed clothes. I don't know if I'm still wearing a toga. Type
Bro,
thing.
you're wearing the
Fast.
same clothes you wore like 3 months ago.
I haven't described it since day one. Okay. Yeah. I guess. Moby, you still with us? Yeah. All right. Well, then I guess the four of us are heading
Moby just flying?
Just
forward.
the four of us.
I
But then
offered
the
to
rest
help
of us
out
are
too.
following. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay,
we're gonna
so
be
is
like
there,
behind.
that's what I'm
but,
saying.
like,
Are y'all like in the
I'm
line?
staying about 30 feet behind.
Mm-hmm. Going by
Where-
what we
yeah.
know from when we throw fire at things.
Yeah,
How far
Don't do
behind
that
are y'all
here.
gonna stay?
Don't fucking
I
do
throw
that
fire
here.
at things. I throw fire.
Don't. We're in
I mean,
the God of the Forge head.
I roll.
You think fire is a good answer right now?
My fire is stronger.
Your fire ain't
Oh.
shit.
My fire is the fire of Purphoros.
yeah, we're gonna wait and let you go first.
Bit said 100 feet away.
Fitz is staying
So-
at least within 60 feet because that is where my most effective range is.
I guess we need to get to that crystal. I'm thinking the four of us are going to try to rush
Al, what
past.
what are the odds that you're gonna kill Teroxes? I need to know.
I don't. I have no clue. Like, I mean, he's so.
Shit.
I mean, he's so resistant to everything. I mean, yeah. Who
Well,
knows?
This is
Like,
the fire.
Well,
right?
Moby has evasion.
I'm okay. 1 second.
Bart's fine.
And Bart's red shirt is fire resistance, right? Just red.
Yeah.
so I'm gonna assume that they are traveling spread apart, like right in the distance.
I'm gonna
of
touch
each other.
Teroxes' hammer and turn it into a the damn spell holy weapon. That's what I'm gonna fucking do to it.
Holy weapon, magic weapons. Let's go.
So Teroxes' hammer, which is Purphoros' hammer, glows this like bright, radiant light, and anytime he hits anything, deals an additional 2d8 radiant damage.
Okay,
So he hits harder than a Mack truck at full speed.
nice. And so the four of them just kind of dive upwards as the rest of the group is following, roughly 60 feet behind. I hear spread out formations in this. Oh, it is just tons of space, right? There's not a lot of things floating by other than a few bits of debris. And as Telmoon closes that distance, those first one, then two, then three, several of the skulls looking down. And Telmoon quickly realizes that the eyes, the sockets glowing with flames. They're all gonna cast roll initiative.
That's a new spell.
That is a new spell.
Huh.
Meaning they all cast on their turn, so we're just rolling initiative for everybody. So
Thank Thank Purphoros. Yes, Purphoros, be
This
with
is
me.
stupid.
Bard is going to die.
This is the worst. This
Oh
is
my.
the worst decision we've made since
No,
we went
it's
up the
not.
mountain.
You can and you
Totally.
can always turn back. You can always try to flee these things. They kind of
We
like
literally left
tadpoles
the
in terms of the
choice
way
up
they
to you.
move.
It's his holy mission.
You can't
Win,
say
win,
it's the worst
win.
choice ever. You made
It's
it.
the worst choice me and Teroxys have made since we ran up the mountain by ourselves.
The burning
I mean,
bush
yeah.
all over again.
I mean,
That's
yes,
exactly
you're
what
not the
this is.
smartest, but this is your
No.
calling.
Oh, thank the gods.
This is
That's a
stupid. I
20.
got- Yeah, I was about to say I got a 22.
I also
Got
got
a
a 22.
15.
Moby?
You got Moby got a 21, right? And then 20. You got a
Oh, yeah.
22, and then 22 for Sophia.
Yeah,
Yep.
All right, and then I
Not-
got
I'm gonna do shit with
Bartholomew
it.
got a 20.
Don't die, Bartholomew.
He'll try his
Oh.
darndest.
Please tell me you're like at least 50 HP.
58.
Okay, 8 more. That's good. You're halfway there. I'm just
Have
gonna
any
blow a lot of
magic?
healing words on you. Like, get the fuck back up. Get back up. Get back up.
Oh.
Sorry.
How much? I can check, but how many hit points does Bartholomew have?
58.
Jesus.
Yeah. He's not gonna be one-hitted or anything.
Don't get hit.
I'm sure you can tank 7 fireballs.
Survive, Barty.
All right, Persis got, let's see,
12.
12. All right, you all are in the back. This is going to be a little bit more theater of the mind in terms of the way with this combat will work. So it's not going to be, you don't have to worry too much about like where you're situated, because I kind of know in our minds like how you're spread out and everything. But yeah, these things are coming in hot above you. Fitz got
I got a 15.
15. All right. And then, are we gonna roll for Teroxys? We'll keep Teroxys in unless somebody's running Teroxys. If so, someone can run him.
I have one question. Since I cast spiritual or holy weapon on him, no one runs him. Can he just have like a
then you
passive thing?
yeah.
Like he just does a set amount of damage or something?
Or you could run them, Troy.
All right.
It can sometimes be boring, especially in this kind of situation where it's not going to be that. I would say like what's the average that Teroxys is going to dish out? He's going to do three attacks every turn. He's going to do
3 attacks each turn. One turn will be 6 attacks.
Yeah, so
That's 1d10 for his hammer,
5.5.
3d6 of fire if they're not immune or
Plus
resistant,
10.5, so 16.
and then 2d8.
Plus 9, so 25 on
25
average.
on average.
If he hits,
So-
if he's hitting every time. I mean, I don't know what the hitting. You need
Oh,
something to
25 on
hit.
each hit. 25 on
He
each
has
hit.
he has a plus 13 to hit with this damn hammer,
Yeah,
but it depends on if they're resistant or
it
immune.
depends
to
on
fire.
resistancies. It depends on if he. We're never gonna say crits either, so I don't know. It's up to you.
Yeah.
I mean, I can run him. He's not hard. It's
Yeah. But
literally
25 isn't a huge amount.
Let's run him. Let's run him for now. Yeah,
Run him.
you just
Okay.
run him.
That
Alright,
tells
so-
us for sure that they're immune to fire. Let's go. I am gonna be an asshole right now, but we're gonna Bartholomew.
Same.
You have a duty
Same
to
as
get
me.
back to your son.
Roxy's got a dirty 20.
We all know who Kai loves most. It's Bartholomew.
Is Kai with us? I thought she
He's
stayed on
back.
the ship.
Kai stayed
Bear.
on the ship.
Stayed
so
on the ship.
Bartholomew
With-
is the
with-
babysitter.
Although if we
Bear
bring back
Clan.
Bear
Yeah.
Clan.
if we bring back a barbecue
Iroa's
Bartholomew,
champion.
it might not be that bad. Like they might be like, this is interesting.
I don't think Kai would like that.
No?
We got
Don't
goats.
Don't barbecue the babysitter.
So at this moment, Sophia, you are up first to be able to react.
I don't want to do shit.
If you
Not
don't,
my
that's fine.
damn mission.
Yep. So you can hold a reaction, or you can, you can stay out of it.
Why is the cleric going first?
Oh,
yeah, I was about to say.
Didn't you get 22?
I got a 22, but so did
So it's putting
Moon,
it,
and I think Moon might have.
It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Because it's not your thing isn't counting the dex modifier.
So Telmoon, you're going first. Telmoon, you're first now.
Telmoon is going to flame on.
You shut the fuck up.
And I also want you to be very visually descriptive because it's the first combat where you all are essentially flying, like
Yeah.
So
no, this is straight up. We going Fantastic Four this time because at the same time as Telmoon is going ancestral guidance, he's going through and just reaching deep inside of himself, reaching out into the flames that he sees, and also casting investiture of flame around himself.
Okay.
So you're seeing his normal light up plus fire aura around it. My man just went Super Saiyan 4? Super Saiyan 4. No monkey. Moby's the monkey. We got a monkey to the side.
Then you're not 4, you're 3.
But there's the red. It's red.
But he has hair.
Fine. 3. Fine. That's bonus action to action. So I guess I'm gonna move forward 45 feet.
Okay. Yeah, they're about 30 feet away from you. So yeah, you close it and you were able to connect with one of them.
I mean, I'm out, so I'm just gonna go past them because I'm out of
okay.
stuff.
Got it. So you're trying to fly by them.
Try to fly by them.
Okay, got it. And you're not trying to do that thing where you like get into melee with them.
I got no action. I have a reaction technically.
So
if one of them wants to try to punch me, I'm gonna stab him. But if he doesn't, you can just let me fly by him.
So so Telmoon just takes off and flies past them. At this point, that puts you. They were like 30 feet away from you. You're like, yeah, you're on the other side, like 15 feet past them, like. And they're like kind of. Some of them are turning back, while some of them are trying to zero in on the group that's coming up behind. Telmoon. Like some of them are like kind of splitting off. All right. That now takes us to Sophia.
Okay, I said I was about 30 feet behind, so Sophia will close the gap by about using 20 feet of her movement.
Okay.
Which is about 10 feet away.
And what we'll do for this combat is use more abstract terminology in terms of like very far, medium range, close range, right? So right now, for you, Sophia, they are like they're probably at far because you're about 60 feet away. You could they're
yeah, I'm not worried about the enemies. I want to be not too far away from my allies.
From your allies, you're that's fine, yeah.
Okay.
But now also I'm seeing you all as spread out. Are you closer than 30 feet? Is it about 30 feet of where you? Basically, like if you looked around, everybody's
about
like
30 feet. My movement is 40.
Okay.
So I moved 30 feet in.
So
I still got 10 feet
but still
play.
trying to stay close to the others within your group.
Yeah. So Sophia's whole thing is, this is Taroxy's, Telmoon's, Bartholomew's. Like this is their.
Hey, Moby stepped up. Don't forget about Moby. Moby out here. Moby has joined the cult. Moby
hasn't made the smartest decisions either.
He might not have done it on purpose.
He joined the Bullies.
He's the third Bass Pro.
And if you're done, then Moby's up next if that's the case.
Yeah, so I'm not going to do anything. I'm just moving closer.
Okay.
For now.
You going to hold an action or you just...
Hold action will probably be... I don't want to... Because we're early on. If any of them get closer to an ally, I'll use Toll the Dead, which will make them use a wisdom save.
Okay.
So if any of them get closer to Telmoon, Taroxys, whoever, they gotta do a wisdom save.
Wisdom save. Okay. Fair enough. As this is all happening, Moby, you're up. This kind of camera pans down, watching you swim through this open space. And remember, you are also still poisoned.
Oh fuck, man! That's right.
You in person.
Disadvantage. Does that mean I can't do my sneak attack?
No, you can do whatever you need. You just have disadvantage on checks. Oh well. The sneak attack.
If you steady aim and someone is in melee with an enemy, then you can sneak attack.
Oh, gotcha. So that.
But there's no one. No one's in position to give you the sneak attack.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna use my short bow. I have no other way to
Sounds
really
right.
affect the battle. So I both rolled. So I'm gonna hit the target right next. Actually, the farthest to the left.
Yep.
So I rolled. The Spanish was a 19. Does that hit?
It hits.
And then I just gonna float it in the air. Take my bow out, and damage is 6.
Tink. You watch as the arrow kind of glances, tink, kind of the metal and scrapes it, as it's resistant to your piercing, but it hits. Takes some damage.
Come get me, you little, I don't know, little bitch.
Does Moby not have a magic weapon? Did we never give him?
Nah,
I don't have a magic weapon.
Moby got.
I have nothing.
Moby is basically Fitz's little brother.
And honestly, even if he did,
if it's resistant to piercing, it's resistant to magical.
Piercing.
It's
just resistant to piercing.
So I tried it. It was so I kind of then float, I guess, up and to the left, just trying to goat the target towards me since I hit it. Maybe it'll catch attention.
Okay.
And then that's all I did.
Put a cast magic weapon on your ass, damn it.
All right. So Moby takes a shot, kind of, and then moves into the way, kind of trying to come get me, that kind of thing. As this kind of like aerial combat ensues, as we move from Moby, kind of panning down to Bartholomew, who's just bit off a lot with the bronze bullies. They've thrown him right.
I look over my shoulder and give him a wink. Let's do this.
I believe in you.
Oh God. Oh God.
Make it a good one. It might be his last.
Yeah. Macarons don't fear anything as Bart, he charges into.
Oh my God.
Charges in to the one that Moby hit.
Don't kill my Bartholomew.
And he does his 3 spear stabs. That's 9.
Spear stabs.
Mm.
That's a 16.
Glad we all do piercing damage.
Natural 20.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
Did the 16 hit?
The 16 does hit.
Okay. Okay. With a mighty stab, that is going to do 6 for the first one, and
that's piercing, or is that slashing?
I mean, the spear's good at stabbing.
Oh, piercing is
so...
stab. Yeah, it's, sorry, I thought I heard, for some reason I heard sword. So yes, spear. Go ahead. Yep. So it's gonna be.
I would love a different weapon, but
actually,
what it is.
Well, on his stats, I said he has both his spear and he also has a short sword, like a gladius. So you can use those. It'll be a D6. It'll still be a D6 damage, right? And that would be a slashing one. He could use that if he
would
wants.
use the gladius.
Yeah.
If he had it.
Okay, that's fine. I'll take that. So he had it. So that first attack was a 6 damage.
6.
Okay.
And
then nat 20. Remember, when nat 20, you take. The way we've been playing it is you take one of the dice instead of rolling 2 double dice. One of the dice is automatically maxed, and then you just roll the other dice. So if it's 2d8 or 2d6, you get 6 off top. So you get another 6 plus a d6 plus your strength.
Yeah, perfect crits.
Yeah, perfect crits.
17 slashing.
Okay.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay, so at least as he slashes into it, like tears the jaw off of this skull, and it kind of it sparks, kind of come out of it, and this spectral like flame kind of diminishes for a moment, but it's still alive. Is he? Is that all 3 attacks? Because I think the Acroian Hoplite has 3 attacks.
The first one was a 9.
Oh, okay. Yep. So that's all. That's
Yeah.
it. So you see him struggling, fighting with this thing, and kind of getting the one up on it. As that's happening, Taroxys is up. Big mean Taroxys.
All right, let's do what Taroxy does.
And I'm going
best.
to assume that you all are, like I said, roughly 25 to 30 feet apart, and that same thing goes for each one of these. Like they're all like 20. They're like all like spread out. So for the term, when it comes to like dropping like ordnance like area weapons on them, they're kind of spread out.
Okay, well, Taroxys, as a bonus action,
Yep.
will go into his giant's might form, where
Okay.
his gears start changing and making him become pretty much a colossus almost.
Yep.
What would you say the closest enemy is to
30 feet
Taroxys?
away is probably the one that's hitting that Bartholomew's fighting.
Okay, so Flame kind of
He
jettisons
could make
out.
another one if he did want to hit another one. Like they're kind of spread out. He could probably make 30 feet to get to another one. But yeah.
Flame will jettison out of his back, kind of shooting him forward to hit the one that Bartholomew is focusing on.
Okay.
He's gonna yell at Bart to duck, and he's going to take a godlike amount of attacks for this guy. 3 attacks.
I would do them separately because
The first one plus 13 is 27.
yeah, it's gonna hit.
You want to do the damage separately too, or?
Let's do damage so you know if it dies, then you can. Well, he moved about 30 feet, so he's out of movement, right?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
has no more movement.
Okay.
30 feet is his max.
Okay. Yep.
Use.
I would give him cleave rules if he could make it to another one, or like basically he could continue like basically that it would absorb. If this one dies, it would absorb the damage from another one if he's going to follow up attack. But yeah, it's probably can't do that here.
All right.
So yeah, just give me that first attack
Hammer.
damage.
A lot. Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna assume this.
All right, let's just do the fire first. So the
Fire was immune. Won't work.
Okay, so that's out of the question. Good to know. Don't use fireball. Tell me.
Fireball.
Shut the fuck up. So Giant's Might with that. What's your +8? Jesus, +8. It's 16, 21, 25. Hold on. 16.
Jeez.
So it's 21 bludgeoning with 9 radiant.
Okay, so he just crushes the skull, one of those skulls, and then it kind of pops and crackles from the radiant damage into little pieces as they explode. One of them is no more. But that also leaves the rest of Taroxys kind of swinging wildly in the void, not able to hit anything else as we move to Fitz, unless there's anything else he can do.
No movement, bonus action, and attacks.
Yep.
Oh. Okay, it's my turn. How many of these baddies? I think you said there were at least
There
10.
were 10. So there's a group of 5 right here, and then above. So Telmoon is basically flying towards like the next group of 5. Like,
Hell yeah, I got these ones.
That's another 30 feet ahead of him. Like, so they're not even on screen. Like, it's just all just like diving upward. Like, this is just like he's like.
Okay. You want help, right, Telmoon? It's not against the rules to help. I could do things.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do things. I'm gonna pull the bow of Nylea, and I'm gonna pull it back, and I'm gonna cast Ice Storm. And that's
Ooh.
a 20-foot radius cylinder, and I can place it up to 300 feet away.
Okay. It's
So
a
I want to
cylinder,
put it. Yeah.
so that they're
20-foot radius, 40-foot high.
Are the two groups 40 feet away from each other?
Can I reach? I'll leave
two-
the 5 for you, Talmoon, if I have to. I will.
Well, remember they're spread out 30 feet apiece. They're
Yeah,
like,
so she could hit 2.
she hit like 2
but
of
like-
them. Yeah.
But does this 40-foot tall cylinder go from one group to the other? Or is that other group further than 40 feet away?
Yeah,
No, I
you'd say
give her the
there's
second
more
group
up.
to about 30 feet, so she'll be able
So
to
she
get
probably hit
four of
of
them.
them,
She get 4 of them.
Double decker.
Okay. Well, then all of them that are in that zone need to make a dexterity saving throw, pretty please.
All right.
They have to pass an 18.
Oh, that's not. Hold on. Let me re-roll those. So roll too many dice. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Give us the 4 lowest, that's fine.
So we got these have 9. That's a fail. Fail. Got a 16 that might pass. I don't know. And a
Nope, it's an
Thir-
18 to pass.
Okay. But we are resistant to magic, so we get another 4 rolls. So this time we got a 19, 22, a 16, a 7, and a 16, and a 19. So 2 passes.
Okay. So, the ones that fail are gonna take 21 cold damage
Okay.
and 11 bludgeoning damage.
Ooh.
And then whoever passes will just take half of that.
Okay.
So 15 total, unless they're resistant to something.
And then the other ones
Who
take,
knows?
and then the other 2 take.
The other 2 take half of that.
Okay.
So it was 21 cold, half.
Okay, so half, so yeah, 10.
Uh-huh. And then
Jeez.
11 bludgeoning halved.
Okay. 11 bludgeoning halved. Okay.
Are there any status effects in that? Like, what happens if I go in it?
It does make it's ice storm. So are we like floating in midair, or are
Yeah.
we on a surface?
No, you're not on any surface. You're like floating in space.
Okay. Because technically it says that hailstones turn the area effect into difficult terrain. Until the
I don't
end
think that
of
would
my
work
next
here.
turn?
Yeah, I think there's like some
Yeah.
ice particles, but I don't think that really is going to affect the world.
I don't
here.
think it would have a lasting
Yeah.
effect.
So I'm
Okay.
I'm also using them kind of like horde mechanics. So while 2 of them failed, that killed another skull was removed, a flame skull was removed, and another
Okay.
one is really close to death. So boom, so like one of them dies off, explodes. Into like ice, and kind of like it like buckles under and turns into ice and just like kind of floats away. It gets thrown off its trajectory course, and it just like icicles and just kind of breaks down. The flame goes out. The other ones are affected and kind of shake, kind of like go cold and freeze up, and then like shake it off, and the flame comes back. So some good damage there.
And that is my turn.
Nice. This puts us at the 3 that are still alive will. So I'm gonna do something a little different since we're not like on a board, and I imagine you're all kind of spread out. They're gonna fireball, so they're just like doop doop doop. They're just targeting fireballs, but those fireballs are not like really gonna are kind of like being centered on one person. I know I could probably put them on 2 of you at a time, but I'm gonna most so focus on someone and imagine that the as the fireball rolls out, there's always probably someone on the edge, and if I choose someone on that edge, I'm going to give you a chance to make a dex save and get out of it completely instead of taking half damage. Almost being like you being able to evade or roll out of the way. But yes, the first 2 are going to center their attacks on Telmoon, so give me 2 saves. Actually, just one save. We're going to start there.
Can't hear you.
I just want all of them to attack me before I start talking.
Could have been that like halfling kinder where you just taunt all of them.
That's exactly what I'm trying to do. I'm out here just flipping people off.
And then you just need to. Did you make your save?
I'm immune to fire.
Oh, so yeah, so that one just boom, just rolls over you, and the thing's like watches you kind of like fly through it angrily. As another one will target closest Taroxes, and then the other one targets Bartholomew. Bartholomew, give me a dex save, Taroxes.
Alright, Taroxes, dex save.
Barty, you got this, right? You're real Dexy?
So Dexy, let's
Dirty
go. 23.
Hell
Let's
yeah.
go.
So Bartholomew, that one's centered on you, so you will take a 15 points of fire damage.
I'm
Okay.
healing him real quick.
I mean, is it worth it? I mean, we could just spend the diamond on bringing him back.
Fuck that.
I know that
Me and
Taroxes is. I know he's resistant to fire.
He got
So-
a dirty 20.
Yep. So then he would only take 5 points of fire damage. That's like that's everything cut in half. Like
Okay, so
yeah. So
I
it would
can't
be
mess
2.
with his HP, so just doing this way. I'm keeping
and
track
then-
of the damage.
And then what I do need is because of how close they were to Roxy's, and I need because they're on the edges of the blast. I need another, but they dex save. This is to get out of it completely from Bartholomew and Taroxes. This is the cross from the
Okay.
other twos.
So is the cross a half or complete, or a half or none? Is it save
It's a save and completely get out of it.
dope.
Like you
Okay,
get- yeah,
Does an
Art,
18
you
save?
got this.
that saves. That gets you out of
Okay.
it.
nice. Watch Barty die
Oh,
right
19.
That gets you out of it. So boom, boom. So those have all cast. Those
now.
5
Still 3 barbs.
are those 3. Then one. So then directly ahead of Telmoon, as you're flying up, the other 5 all cast on you. I need 5 dex saves from Telmoon.
Why?
Oh no, yeah. So no. Actually, no. I know that they can't hurt you. So, but yeah. Here's the thing. They are going to. Here's the thing. There's the thing where the monsters are smart. So, or how smart they are.
Yeah.
They would. No. They're not. They're not going to do that. They are going to just. So their eyes light up and they just start to fire out. Like little projectiles, little magic missiles just start to rain down. As Telmoon's trying to dodge them, they all just can't. They seem to just like heat seek in on him. So yeah, we'll just do those for 5. So that'll be 15.
Magic missiles.
Yes.
Shield.
Okay. Okay. So all right. So boom, Telmoon is like just fucking Gundam in this moment. And
Told you
those
it's Super Saiyan top.
Get off me. Seeing that useless going after him, they turn their attention and dive towards the party. Increasing, getting there, bringing in. So now there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Did they avoid me?
8 of them diving past Telmoon towards getting closer in, just moving. How fast do they move?
They move past Telmoon?
Do I
They
get
move
any
past
reactions?
They don't
Or
move
not
like
that
within
close?
Attacking, yeah, but they're just moving
Well,
40 feet.
Sophia's
so now
holding
they're going
her
to be.
action.
So yeah, you can do that. They're going to be now.
They move
basically
closer to all of your
they're
allies.
Yeah.
so they're
Well,
gonna
the
be in
first
this
one to
area.
pass the threshold gets the fucking prize.
Okay. Is it-
Wisdom save.
Okay.
So the first one to get within 60 feet of Sophia that got
Why
closer
is it doing
to
that?
my guy. I'm not doing Pull the Dead on all of them.
It's re-rolling the same roll I had. Okay, so there we go. Okay, 18.
Fails.
All right.
So they will take 2d8 necrotic since I'm pretty sure no one's hit these, or is this the same group that Fitz hit?
Yeah, one of them's hurt.
Yeah, one of them's hurt.
Okay, well then that changes the damage die to 2d12.
Okay.
Well, I guess
Actually 3d12. Because I can't read my character sheet for shit.
So they're rushing up. Do they pass by Taroxes and Barth?
Not with. They don't go into close range for like so that you can make an attack as they go by.
Uh-huh.
They're like kind of like moving like missiles around you.
Do they go in between so they're no longer 25 feet apart? Now they're just 12 feet apart? Everybody?
I think wherever they end, they kind of end. They end spaced out.
Damn it. I'm trying to group you. Trying to group them.
I know.
Get grouped, homie.
The bronze bullies are so strong. It can only give you so. I gotta try to. Yeah.
I'm hitting
Can't let you
everybody.
That is 30 necrotic damage.
Okay. That one is dead. Gone. As the dark energy just kind of crushes it like a can, extinguishing the flame, and crumples away. Gone. They have all gone. If I'm not mistaken, this puts us on Persis.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's the of our melee people, and then there's the other group that's been kind of rushing towards us, came towards Telmoon, but then switched tacks when they saw that he was immune to fire. Okay, and then of that group there are 4.
There's 5 of them, so.
There's a 5. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, Persis is going to begin casting a spell, and like these purple sparks start crackling and emanating from her, and then towards that group that's coming towards us, it'll just suddenly there's from a point sparks start crackling and then exploding out, and it's going to hit. I don't know how many of them. Imagine fireball, but it's synaptic static.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So two of them.
Fireball.
Yeah. So
Just
2.
Okay.
I've been doing 2 because in my mind they're smart enough to like not group up so that yeah.
Fireball for your brain.
Fireball for your brain. Yeah. So they need to do intelligence saves. And I think.
What was?
Yeah, I'm gonna use a sorcery point and empower this.
Sorry, that was just the Kim casting the spell.
You're
was
good.
Like
loud,
brain fireball's also very scary.
Little on the loud side. It's just my sound effect for anything arcane.
I'll take that.
So it's you said a wisdom save or it's intelligence save?
It's an intelligence save.
Intelligence save. Okay.
Yeah.
It's for 2 of them. Let's go. Those are, I know. Well, 16 is the highest. That's actually
Okay, they fail.
Yeah, they fail.
Okay. Let me give you. It's 38 psychic damage.
Okay.
And then with both of those, if they make attack rolls or ability checks, then they have to roll a d6 and subtract it from that.
Okay. So another one is destroyed as the how do you think, what do you think it looks like as it you know, what do you think it does in terms of, is there a visual that we can see?
Like I was saying, it's like from a point near them, there's just like it like kind of flashes at first, and then a large like bolt. It looks like electricity, but it just hits them in the brain,
and they just
flies out.
Turn off. EMP bursts just hit these things and shut them down. One of them lingers on, barely the flame, barely on it. So then there were there were 6. One really hurt. Appledexis is last but not least, but he's firing arrows here. Telmoon, top of the round. What are you doing?
They are in a line now?
Not in a line. Now, they've flown by you, so you are...
Yeah, they're behind me.
They're behind you.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, no, I get that. But I'm not gonna not hit nobody. Like, what do they look like?
What I'm wondering is,
Tell me we talking.
So you can continue up to the crystal.
I'm moving that way. 45 feet is moving, you know, but like, I turn around, and they're like just in a line.
They're not in
What-
a, they're like in a circle pattern, right? Like a kind of like an arc.
Mhm.
Kind of diving around your friends. They kind of look like missiles, you know, like a
What I'm asking you-
open hand, right? Of kind of coming in to envelop.
Mhm.
What are you asking?
I'm asking you is if a 60-foot cone emanating from me, which at the end of it, 60 feet away, which is where that first line is, it's a 60-foot diameter circle.
I'll
How
give
many
you-
of that does it hit?
From
at least
60
3?
feet behind you, that would hit 60 foot if they're all 30 feet and they're kind of 30 feet arcing. The way I just described it in my mind, I'm gonna
three-dimensional,
give
it's a cone.
I'll give you all of them.
You're gonna give me all of them?
Yeah.
Don't give me all of them.
Kamehameha these bitches away.
Alright, they getting Care Bear stared. This is happening.
So-
That's
so
a
tell me-
big,
Hellmoon is
that's a
screaming.
biggie.
And you just see in this cone these spiraling rainbow lights. I guess I need 6 decks or 6.
Are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing it. Give me.
Yeah.
Damn it.
That's a
I mean,
big-
technically, you can get around this. Give me 68s. If you roll a 2, you win.
68.
Is this not a pattern or color spray?
Color spray, prismatic spray.
I rolled 1
Prismatic.
2. One of the dice got a 2 and the rest.
Okay, so that guy's not getting hurt.
Okay.
Nope. I'm sorry. If they roll, yeah, 2. Nope. It 1. 1s don't get hurt
Ones don't get hurt. Okay, so let me see what I
on
rolled
D8s.
again.
Sorry.
I didn't roll any ones, so they all get hurt.
Okay.
Um,
Deck saves for everybody.
Okay.
It's magic. Everybody. Yep. Deck saves. Did anybody roll an 8?
I was about
No.
to say every single one does a different thing.
Yeah, but it's all deck
no
save.
no one rolled an 8.
No one rolled an 8. It's all deck save.
And then the deck saves will be 120, and a 13 is not gonna. So a
20 is what they need.
A dirty 20. Only one got a dirty 20. So everybody else
Okay.
failed.
Now, technically,
Actually,
they are getting.
I get to. They're resistant, so we get one
resistant,
more
yeah.
chance. So we got one dirty 20.
No, they're just resistant. We're good.
We got this time we got a 19, and what's their dexterity?
Yeah, so he
a
passes.
7 to 19. So yeah, so two.
Oh,
two.
19?
A
19 fails.
19 fails.
Excuse
Oh no, 19 with plus 3.
Okay,
would-
good.
would
So
pass.
two
So we got two
Okay.
passes total.
So, this is just going to be random. I'm not going to make you tell me the rolls, and I'm not going to. Nobody rolled a 7.
I can take a look. 1-7. And on the roll before. was there
Any
7?
8s?
Yeah,
He
there
said
was.
That's
no 8s
where it-
already. He said no
Yeah,
8s
but that
already.
was on the
we're
first
rolling
set.
an advantage, so the first set. Well, it's gonna be because it's gonna be the final set, so only 1-7.
Let's just be nice and call it
Okay.
damage. Let's not do the other 2
Is
effects.
it
'cause that's
normally
just
you?
me.
So no matter when, even if every set, this would have affected something.
Yeah, but don't worry
Okay.
about it. We're just
Okay.
gonna do random damage. Are they immune to? They're getting hit with acid, lightning, poison, and cold, and it's just hitting everybody.
They are acid.
So if they are resistant or immune to either any of those,
They are.
then I need to know
are
what they rolled.
Immune to poison. They are immune to cold.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need to know what they rolled then, because
Okay,
then
so
if
let's-
they rolled a 1, a 3, or a 4, then they're safe.
A 1. There was a 1.
I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3. If they rolled a 4 or a 5, they're safe.
Okay, these are on the D8s.
On the D8s, if they rolled a
Okay,
1,
so
a
we gotta
1,
go.
4 or 5.
Jeez, how do I
Yeah.
go back on here?
Sorry about that. Or I guess I could just roll it if you
I
want me
need to look at the. Let me see if I can find.
This is
my-
why this spell is complicated.
This spell's broken.
In a
Yeah,
party.
I shouldn't have done it. I
So-
should have done it. I'm sorry. I didn't think he was going to let me hit all 6. Thought it was going to be like 2 of them, and it was going to be easy.
My man.
For the sake of
you
this,
are
why don't
literally
you just
coning it.
why don't you just roll them real quick? Why don't you roll? them
Okay.
for me? 'Cause, next
I'll
time
roll
we
them.
do it, I'll,
Yep.
I'll watch the rolls. 'Cause, yeah.
Yep. Okay. We're going to roll. Sorry. Stupid server. D8s. Okay, there's a 1, a 5. So the 1 and the 5 are immune.
Okay.
The 3 and the 6 take 10d6 damage.
Oh jeez, they're gonna die. I mean, most likely.
So
We'll see.
38 and 33. The 7, the 8. God damn it! I'm never casting this spell again. The 7 and the 8. The 7 needs to make a con save.
Okay.
He's restrained. The 7's restrained.
Okay.
And the
So
8,
one of them's restrained. Okay.
And the 8's blinded.
Okay, and one of them's blinded. Okay, so
One's restrained, one blinded.
One's restrained, one blinded, and then 2 are going to take 10,
33 and 30.
33
8.
and so one's going to die.
Yep.
133 and 38. So 38 is going to, and then 30.
And for the sake of our sanity, I'm switching out the spell after we get through the session.
So almost 2 of them die, like exploding in these like these beautiful bursts of magical arcane light as the different effects are kind of pop rocking and taking effect on each of these things as they begin to kind of drop and out of the kind of drop and float away as Telmoon is kind of rocketing up towards the crystal.
Man, I was gonna use sorcery points, but I've already done too much shit. Go. Move.
It's
Move on.
It's still your. If
Nope,
it's your turn.
Nope, somebody else go.
This is your moment. So.
Somebody else go. I'm waiting
It's
to go
your
towards
god.
Crystal.
This is your god.
This could make
Do-
all the difference.
Do your thing.
So here's what I will tell you. After all that's done, you're able to move within like this ominous like dark crystal kind of floating, and it's kind of like coming down like a giant ruby where just like the tip is like right under your head. You could reach out and touch it. Since this is your turn, do you do anything? Do you say anything? What do you do when you get and you feel like the presence?
What, you saying I'm in touching range?
You're in touching range, yes.
I mean, I have a bonus action. That kind of bonus action touch. Can I just touch it? See what happens?
You can.
Why not touch the big glowing ruby? Nothing.
Telmoon reaches out, kind of feeling the power of a like literally of a god, and he puts his finger out like this is the closest he's ever been to literally his creator, and his finger touches it, and then he just feels a sharp like warmth, and there's a flash of like red light, and then as everyone else is looking up, as some of those figures are dropping off of the away, all you see in that darkness is Telmoon just body like jolt, and he goes limp and begins to kind of fall, kind of spiral back down towards you. Telmoon, you are at 0 hit points. You're out. The power just shuts you off. Like you're just 0. And as Telmoon is falling through, like from around the backside or upwards above the dark, around the crystal, there are at least 100 of those flaming skulls, kind of pouring down and chasing after Telmoon's body. Taraxes and Moby and Bartholomew are probably the closest to like reaching out and trying to like go forward and get Telmoon. But that is what they see, and as it's happening, and as you see, all like it almost looks like. Now the thing is, the 100 skulls, they're actually not diving down. They're like protecting. They're swarming around the crystal, and almost like they almost like come together and make a skull face on the bottom, looking down on you all, a very menacing face as Telmoon kind of falls away and will crash to black and end there for the night. So, good game.
Well, I guess I don't have to show up next week's. Y'all got this, guys. Enjoy.
One problem with that.
I know. Technically.
Yeah.
What is it?
He has Death Ward on him. So he's at 1.
Then he's at 1 then. Yeah, that's fine. I'll take that. Well, here's the thing.
What is
the power is so strong. Death Ward, what kind of spell is it? I mean, it's
it's a 4th level.
4th level.
Yeah.
I want a charisma save from Telmoon. Because here's the thing.
This.
I just there's some magic that just overrides all magic, you know. And I think
know what?
it's almost like a
I thematically I'm cool. So
I actually
if
not
I'm
trying to
gonna
kill
let the
you.
save-
So actually,
if
it's
I'm
not
gonna
trying to
let the
kill you.
save-
So I
if
don't
I'm
want
gonna
this
let
to
the save
necessarily.
happen.
Yeah.
If you didn't want it to happen, you wouldn't have made touch the button kills you. So
I didn't ask you. I asked you what you were going to do. Now, so I'm,
So
but I want to give you.
I want my boy Troy to roll it. It's his spell. Troy's magic.
You want Sophia to roll a charisma save?
No, roll it for me.
Just roll the die
Roll a
and
D20,
then
yeah.
roll a d20 and whatever your modifier
yeah,
is.
because you're yeah.
All right.
Modifier is a 10.
Fucking Jesus.
Yeah, the modifiers. That's what I'm saying. It's high. It's his one of his good stats.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
like
giving
he-
you a bad stat.
Yeah, but the die might kill me anyway, which is why I want Troy to do it.
Wow, you're a dick. Love you, Jason, but you're a dick.
Always.
So unlucky 13 plus 10 though.
Plus 10. Okay.
Wait.
And so as Telmoon falls away, we kind of push in, and his eyes, like he opens, you know, his eyes and can like see that like those swarming, and Death Ward, you know, of course he's at one, and not out. So by all means, but same scenario, and that's where we'll leave it.
My
Sophia
boy,
did promise not to have any bullies die.
Won't y'all chop up that diamond? If we gotta use it, it's gonna be the whole diamond.
Fucking Fitz has it. I don't have it.
When I cast Identify on it, I saw that it was like a key for something.
Yeah.
So I'm not anxious to cut it into pieces to
No,
bring
I mean, I
people
thought
back to
about
life.
asking for it, but then I figured you wouldn't give it to me. Like, not me
No.
talking to Nikki. Telmoon talking to Fitz. I figured Fitz would not give it to Telmoon, so I
don't
didn't
know.
take it.
This is the biggest shiny that you've gotten in a while.
I know.
Yeah, probably want to hold on
And
to it.
out of anyone in the group, she don't trust Telmoon touching shit. So
No.
Well, what's
So-
hilarious is like she was like, "Let's give it to Sophia first, but let me identify it." Oh shit!
It's so
Fun.
The
expensive.
dragon horde lust came over Fitz and was like, "It's mine."
It happened so fast.
Oh yeah.
I didn't mean for that to happen.
This
but
is
it
a
did.
lot of gold. It's mine.
yeah,
I'm gonna hold on to this.
I don't think Purphoros in the big shiny. I think that was the wrong move.
You don't
Oh,
think he likes the big shiny?
I don't think he was in the big shiny. I was hoping he was in the big shiny. I don't think he was in the big
Touching
shiny.
the big shiny was not a good option.
It's
I knew I
either the
should've made
diamond
Bartholomew
or the
touch it.
hammer.
I was gonna
options we
send.
got.
I was gonna send Bartholomew to it, and then I was
I'm
like,
proud
"That's
of
just
Bart.
me."
He did a lot better than I thought.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of him for being
Good
alive
job.
still.
Right.
So what I think they have to, I think what they would know, there's a moment here. Seeing that swarm is almost like, you know, is it fight or flight? Do
Invincible.
they stay this or do they back away? You know,
Telmoon instantly drops 500 feet and just splats into something. I'm assuming.
And we're like, yeah,
Telmoon
let's
falls
keep fighting.
30 feet back towards. So he's within striking distance for Taraxis to move in and grab at 30 feet. Like that's why I said the group that was closest to him can move towards him. With that,
Can't wait for Josh to find out that he just has a unconscious Telmoon in his arms. Figure it out and go.
Okay, by the way, your
Welcome
giant
back.
smite's up. You lost 5 HP, and Telmoon's like at 1 HP in front of you. Have fun.
Well, it does put you in a perfect place to just listen like a podcast while you're driving. Next
It does. It does. Though I am no longer immune to fire, so this might be bad.
How are you no longer immune?
Do I not lose concentration with Death?
No, you go straight to 1
Straight to
HP.
Oh, but I can't save that.
Yeah, you can't save the
I
spell.
can't
like,
save 105, half of 106.
Nat 20, you can. Mal has stated if you roll a natural 20, no matter what the damage is, you save. Because Sophia should have lost fucking
That is
Blessed Theory.
definitely. I definitely
Helion.
fully.
No. That's only when it's centered on you. If they attack him, it's still half. If the fireballs would be half. So you know.
Oh no, I'm saying like, there's no way I can make my
Yes.
concentration check
Oh right, yeah. Oh, I see. What you're saying. Your
because
concentration.
you just
check.
did. You just
No,
did
yeah.
106 points of damage to me.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
53 DC. So
I
I
mean,
mean,
yeah,
you
you
could
said-
be that. You could be that type that says that 20 beats everything.
You want
but-
to give me a nat 20 roll? I mean, you want to roll for it right now and see? Yeah, I'll take a nat 20.
I mean, Sophia
Oh.
saved against
Easy.
Heliod's bullshit
Light work.
phase 2.
Light work. That's a big 13.
Okay.
We're gonna go ahead and say that didn't save. Grog, you betrayed me.
Silvery barbs?
Too far.
Didn't work that way.
I knew you should have built silvery bars, Bartholomew.
Oh, good
That's
stuff.
what happens when you're the fastest and you just fly.
Should be.
God damn it. I knew you were
Sophia
setting
ain't
me
gonna
up.
let you fucking die. Just know that.
I knew Mal was setting me up. I showed up one time.
I'm like, why? I always, I failed
I
to
said I'm gonna end
realize
my
that
turn.
you're
and
always
you
just
said,
gonna
"No,
go
I got more
straight to the
turns."
thing. Like, it's
I
like,
just
all
whipped
right.
it. I was still fighting. You said, "Hey, you got more turn, Tail Moon." And I
Did you
was
make
like,
it to the tavern talk about like the last game we played where it was just 3 of us?
Oh,
It was
It's all
all
good.
casters, bro.
well. I
Not
mean,
one
I
melee
also
fucker.
think you don't necessarily have. There's also a level to it. I don't think you necessarily have to look at it as an evil thing that happened to you or a trap. I mean, you just tried to touch godlike power, regardless of how
Yeah.
little. Like you know.
"I am the champion
No, you're not.
You are a champion.
Roxy's it.
of the world.
yeah.
We are the champion.
The penitent man shall
Uh,
pass.
We are the
Definitely
Flash.
not.
Don't worry about it.
Better take a knee, man.
It's all good. Like I said. So I am no longer
Right.
having
At
fire.
1 HP,
So
cool.
at 1 HP, no longer have fire resistance. So this should be fun.
This is easy.
But-
Cake.
Well, you're getting healed. The spell, not just.
Yeah, so we'll keep initiative the way it is.
Which
Pick it
means
right back up.
Bartholomew is not.
I can quicken spell.
You can quicken spell?
I have meta magic adapt.
You piece of trash. Okay.
It's how I fucking kept 2 of you alive during the Heliod fight.
I remember.
Literally, it was you and someone else. I was like,
I
heal.
remember.
Did y'all get fucking ass whooped?
And so we have our game next week. Then that's our back to back for.
Yeah.
Next
Oh,
week.
shit, okay.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
You can't quicken spell, leveled spell.
Yeah, it's our next game.
But you can twin it.
Yeah,
Twin.
Sorry.
Twin. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I
can
think
twin a
this-
single target, yeah.
Yeah, this room is definitely protected, overly protected. So you got to figure out.
Figure something out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What do you mean? We win. That's how we do it.
This may not be. I don't know if you should try
We
that.
get them
at
to
this point.
swarm so they're
I'm just
just
saying.
the skull, like one big skull made of smaller skulls, and then we defeat it.
There you go.
All I'm saying is Josh is showing up next week, so y'all good luck running.
How clustered
know-
are they? Because I can just do like sunburst and it's just a column of fucking FU.
Good.
I also have mass suggestions, so I could just
It's
suggest that they
100
let
of
us
them.
pass
So let's
peacefully.
just. I'm gonna take
To
their
be
hit
f-
points right now times 100.
To be fair, it doesn't matter how many are in the damn tube. That's on you, buddy.
Oh, geez.
They,
I mean, also Rain
they
of Arrows.
technically, as
that's a
one
big
unit, they have
AoE.
4,000 hit
Mhm.
points. So, just
Oh.
saying for you guys to put in perspective of what that would look like. I would probably
Thanks.
change that a little bit, but
Lightning
that's how many
bolt.
of them.
I can
mean,
take out
Shane likes-
76
Yeah,
of
'cause
them.
they're each of them was 40 apiece. That's why I said they were all 40 apiece that you guys.
I could
are doing
take out
damage to.
one. And a second one that's gonna get hurt real bad.
Yeah, because I'm definitely gonna cast lightning bolt, and Mal's gonna be like, "You hit 2 of them."
I
But
don't
you
wanna
said
take-
there was 1,000.
They should probably
I
turn
guess
back, but if y'all want to
that's
try to
100 of 'em.
defeat them, we
They're
can,
not sick of
we can play that. We
radius.
can play that out.
So
Bartholomew
you're saying
will
you're sick of this
die.
campaign.
Like,
No, Mel's
I'm
like,
just saying. I'm just saying. You're
I
not
need
supposed to
sleep.
come to this door right now. Turn away. Go back.
I'm saying
Mel's
Dragon
like, I need
Bane.
sleep. Go to hell,
It's
guys.
Dragon Bane time. So let's touch some fancy rocks. All I
Oh,
know
man.
is whatever it takes. I did my duty. It's Roxy's turn.
It's funny how you guys are like playing like on and off, like come in and like it's like tagging each other in. Yeah, we'll see We'll see.
Yeah. And I guess Nick be in charge of
I
my
mean,
role
there's a much
saving throws next week.
There's a lot more of this place to they maybe
Hey.
explore.
All right, so what I'm hearing is fuck this fight right now, and let's go to the other eye socket to find out what we could use as protection.
I feel like y'all keep talking about my man fully described a full eye in that other that other eye socket. There's a mouth hole. And
No, it's a structure. It's a space that you can go into.
The other eye hole?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah, we'd be behind the fucking metal eye.
Oh, it's behind. So
it's behind. You're on the inside.
It's
so
not
yeah.
an orb. It's just a concave. Just
it's a concave. It's a half, and it's not. It's a mechanical
creepy-ass
eye.
On the inside concave, on the outside convex.
Convex, yeah.
And I was just
Convex is
imagining
out. Concave is in.
Yes, in. So he doesn't have like a full spherical eye. He has like a lens, right? Like a metal that moves in a socket with gears and stuff around it.
I don't like
prosthetic
this. I don't
eye
like
you
what
can
you're doing to my god. That's nasty. He
But
got one
it's
of them,
accurate.
he got one of them plastic eyes, that them plastic ones you just shove in for the night. Pull that out, rinse it out.
For all you know, the rest of the eye is spectral, or like the whatever biological parts of him are gone. It's just like the shell pieces. He's anvil, right? I mean, he essentially is made of metal, different forms of metal and stuff. So
Fine. He got a fake eye, so we can go to the other eye socket.
Think of it this way:
Star Michelin
technically,
hotel
he
in
has the world's best prosthetics, because he created them all.
He created them all.
How would you build an
created
eye for
himself.
yourself if you couldn't see?
Because he's God.
I was about to say,
Feel it
duh.
out.
Oh man!
It's big enough that he couldn't finish it.
Wait, what did you say? Build an the eye that's missing. I don't think he. I mean, he was Purphoros. I don't think he made his eyes.
Well, that's why he couldn't finish it, because he made the outside of the eye so he could see. It was like, fuck, how am I supposed to get back there?
My depth perception.
I wish I could draw what I think it looks like. It's more eye than you think, but it's just not a giant ball.
So there is more than just the front of the eye.
There is.
It's just not enough to be a sphere.
Yes,
It's probably like 5 city blocks thick of an eyelid.
Take care, Eddie.
She real thick,
See
huh?
you,
Eddie.
Take care, buddy.
Good seeing you.
Y'all, good to see everybody.
All about that mouth.
Later,
Enjoy.
Eddie.
Watch, we had to go through the fucking mouth to get like protection from the
Oh
eye.
no.
Oh my god!
I mean, we could have just
Okay.
not gone towards the embers. That was also an option.
it's
it's
kinda
like that.
It's up
like
to you though. This is
So this would
fully
be-
you.
Oh, it's a hemisphere.
Yeah. So on the outside. So that's the eye.
So it's not like that on the
so
inside.
his lid, like kind of like a transformer. When you were outside, it would move like that. But inside, there's a space in there with gears and all kind of
You're
contraptions
not on
that
the
move on it.
you all in the. You're
Oh,
not on
sorry.
the cam. Yep.
On this side, sorry. On this side would be where you would be inside of the space of the room, right? That's where you could have gone into, and there would have been gears and cogs all connected to this piece here. But on the other side of here, if you're out in space, this is what you see as the eye. That's my.
So his eye is R2D2.
I'm using this as a point of reference, which is also
Is that
making-
the cup that makes noise?
Yeah, it's my cup that it's the cup that makes noise, keeps beeping as long as it's off, which I never actually use it for anything.
The greatest.
Yeah.
Did you get that cup on your birthday, or was it just out?
On my birthday, my parents always get me Star Wars stuff, even though I'm not a Star Wars fan like that.
Yeah, I was like, I don't remember ever talking to Mal like this.
They just think, they just think I'm a Star Wars fan because they know I'm a geek. So they're like, he must like Star Wars.
Must like Star Wars.
You gotta like Star Wars, and I do, but I don't like buy Star Wars stuff. Like
It
I would never
happens.
buy it on my own, which I don't
That's
mind.
all
I
right.
got, I've got like the little pin thing, the little Millennium
Yeah.
Falcon with the pin. So they give me
Okay.
stuff like that.
Yeah, it's just like my mom. She bought me a Oogie Boogie shirt for Christmas because she saw dice on it. I'm like, you know that dude playing craps, right?
He's
like,
playing,
that ain't,
he's playing
Hey,
straight craps. That's
Don't diss
hilarious.
Oogie, all
that
right?
ain't D&D. She's like, it's a monster. There's dice. That's D&D. I'm like, all right, mama.
I am enjoying Galaxy's Edge in VR. Like the game, I'm basically just the last level like was in a Jedi temple, and that was like the scope of the temple was really cool.
Were you a youngling?
You're like a kind of like a bounty hunter dude. You're just like taking jobs.
Okay, so Big Brother Anakin doesn't show up.
Nah, yeah, you're not like
That
you're
would be fun in VR.
Probably, yeah. You're I think at some point you get to like play a Jedi, because basically there's one level that was really cool. I thought it was really ingenious the way they did it. You play, what's the name of like the assassin android with the
IG-88?
Yes.
Or there's
Yeah.
a newer one, right?
Is there, you get to play that android and on a mission to like on a hitman mission. And it's cool because in VR you kind of feel like a robot, because when you're playing like as a regular person, like you have to move and shoot and stand behind like walls and stuff. But as the android, your hands are essentially the targets, but you can see your arms, like you can see all four of the arms with the guns on them, but you don't move those. You move the targets, and then you lock onto people, and then when you execute the command, the gun just like takes them out. So it's just like you're like targeting, and then the guns are just like bah, 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 and it makes you feel kind of like a Terminator. It was really kind of smart and well done. It's really well.
That's dope.
Yeah, I'm still in my VR kick. It's just really cool. And then that and Gran Turismo, driving in VR has been like insane. Like you just feels.
Are you trying to get into like Formula
Bro,
One racing there, buddy?
I'm trying not to get into sim racing, bro. Like I'm watching sim racing videos now at like 2 a.m, like trying to improve my line, trying to improve my time. And then it's frustrating because last night I was working on this game, and I told my buddy I had to work on my D&D game tonight on Friday night. And so he hits me up at like 12, and he's like, "Yeah, I just beat all your license, like your best times." And he's like telling me I beat this one by 3 seconds, I beat this one by 2 seconds. So I'm like, fuck. So like at 2 a.m, I had to like get on there and just like drive to try to win some of my times back. And then this morning I woke up and he had taken them all back. So I'm like, God damn.
He's just toying with you, just letting you know that.
Yeah, so it's kind of amazing because if you like driving and you like racing, when you're in an Apex, when you're in a line, one thing that a flat screen has never been able to do is that like your depth perception when you're turning, like let's say you're turning left into a corner, you need to be looking at the next corner. You need to be looking like at the next point. And so it's kind of hard to do that on a flat screen, but in 3D, like in a full VR, I can like be in the corner this way, but looking over here, knowing where I'm going to go next. It feels so right. And like, you feel the car around you, right? Like you look, you see your passenger seat, you see your legs, your arms, and you kind of feel like you have the weight of the car. So my times are always better when I drive in VR versus when I'm like driving with the wheel looking at the flat screen, which is crazy. But everybody, like, I know a lot of people get like, my dad tried it and he got so sick. He was just like, oh, he's just like, I can't deal with this. So yeah, it's definitely, can mess with you. I can't wait till they just get smaller. Like they have some, like for the guys that sim racers online have like the little goggles that are like nice and light, and those seem like they just like are perfect. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. Yeah.
Maybe one day, maybe after the Baldur's Gate kick, if
Yeah.
I feel like I'm
man,
into
you got,
video
like,
games, I
300
might go.
hours.
You're screwed with that game, bro.
You've got, you're gonna.
I
be
don't
on
know.
that for
Nick
a
betrayed
while.
me, so I haven't gone past that point again.
I'm just
'cause
gonna
I'm
say,
still
Nick,
mad
you
at
should
Nick.
not have smiled at that time.
I'm still mad at Nick about that because he told tales and got me killed. But none of y'all are there yet. So when y'all get there, I'll talk about it. Also,
I really want to get it and just try it, but like I'm so scared of getting like sucked in. And
No, you
It's-
will.
I have responsibilities as a DM. I
Bruh.
can only do so much.
it's
Here's
so
the-
much different, man. Like certain things, like it's D&D plus the shit that you want to happen because of just logical stuff.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
So here's the
So
way
that,
I
you're
look
saying
at
that's a
it.
good thing, Jason, right? You're saying like
I'm saying it's a good thing for people. I mean, it's a good thing for a video game. Like if
Yeah.
you're trying to be D&D,
Mm.
there's a lot of things that aren't D&D. But 100% in a video game, if I put water on you, I expect you to be vulnerable to lightning. 100%.
does that work in the game?
Yeah, that work in the game.
Yeah.
That's really well. That's cool. I mean, but that also works in D&D, so that's
Here's the problem I had with that statement is, so Baldur's Gate 3 is a very fleshed out game.
Yes.
So gamers are going to expect this now. You're not going to be able to get AAA titles where it's like, hey, we have a half a game, and here's a lot of DLC you got to buy to
But isn't that
complete
good?
it.
Yeah,
It is to a degree, because you got to think, how long
I don't
has it
want
been
half-ass games.
since a full-fledged game has been released?
Right.
Bro, they could give us DLC. Here's level 14. Here's level 16.
Well,
Here's
what he's
level
saying is
18.
like
Baldur's
up until
Gate
this
can
point
do
though,
that,
yeah.
But like Bungie, Activision, all these other
You're
AAA
absolute-
titles, they're not going to be able to
Yeah,
like.
Baldur's
They've
give
been
you
Gate
a
is
hitting
also-
they've been
game.
missing their deadlines for a full game. They've been releasing a half-ass game, and then they're going, okay, we're gonna let everybody play test the game that they paid $70
Exactly.
for, and then we'll just update it with.
Wait,
you
so
know.
that's bad for the community?
I think that's
It is
I
to
think
a
it's awful
degree.
to a degree.
Because
you
here
want
it
to
is.
pay $70 for a piece of shit?
No,
That's
but
what I'm
here's the
saying.
problem.
I don't. I
You're-
think that's awful. I think
We-
think this game pushes us to
So this
have
is a
better
good thing that this
games.
is a good thing.
I think
It
okay.
is
Troy
a good
is
thing,
saying
but there's a
slightly the opposite.
bad thing to it.
Okay,
Sure,
he's saying
like
they're gonna take
E3
longer?
drops and you
Garbage.
see all these amazing games, they're still going to release it like it's nothing's changed, and no one's going to buy it. You're going to be completely disappointed in the fact that it's not completely finished.
Yeah,
You have to buy like a $60 add-on pack.
Troy,
as you should.
why
That's
shouldn't I be disappointed
You should.
that I
be.
gave you $70 for what
Yes.
you advertised
Yes.
and it's not what you advertised?
Being okay with the state of games being unfinished or coming out with needing to buy DLC, I don't think should be the norm that to be
But
accepted.
it is. That's the sad thing.
And
And
there's a
It's
middle
been
ground.
it's been like that for the past 10 years, if not more.
Yeah, it has.
I still think there's a market for DLC, but your
No,
game
not
should come
anymore.
out.
No one wants to buy DLC. Nobody.
I don't. Yeah, I don't like.
But I think there's still a middle ground that you can take where you release a completed
Right.
game,
Yes.
and like yeah,
If
you
you-
can make it so that you can there's more content you can buy later.
I'd probably
but,
buy a DLC.
but your
yeah,
game
for
should be
Baldur's Gate.
Like how it
finished when
used to
it's
be.
released.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's nothing
and,
wrong with DLC. I think we have a problem with like games being buggy and having issues and like, or even like full story arcs not being done, and then you're just going to release the rest
That's
of the
the
story
DLC
arc
I'm
as a
talking
DLC. That's kind of trash, right? Like,
No,
I should be
yeah,
able
nah.
to get a full story experience from my $70, and then there should be more that you can add on to give me because now I'm done with that. Not like you get to Act 2 and it's like da da da
Yeah.
to be continued,
That's what
You
I'm
know.
saying. Is
and
like,
then I'm gonna charge you for to be continued. Please don't.
I
Like-
shouldn't have to pay two different prices for the same game.
Yeah,
Correct.
I
don't
should
think
get a
so.
full-fledged game, and whatever DLC comes out is completely new content, not a continuation.
So we want
You-
this
that's-
pressure on the. We want this. We want
We-
this pressure to be on the game system.
It is, but the
game
problem
industry.
is games are going to take a lot longer to make.
That's
now.
what I think. That's just saying is
Okay.
the bad is that we're gonna have to wait longer to get good games.
I suck at
and-
games. I'm gonna be playing this
That's
one
fine.
game.
I
to
take
try
my
to finish
time.
it
I
You
don't-
for
suck.
7,000
I don't.
hours.
Yeah, so you're flying through
finished
games
Baldur's
like
Gate
I'm
already?
done.
You finished Baldur's Gate already
No, but I can easily.
Jeez, I don't know how y'all do it.
with one
Dude,
character?
I
Then you got
literally
you got to
can
go
beat
through your bad omen.
Skyrim in like 5 hours.
Are you playing it on the hard version?
No.
Why would you want to?
Are you completing it 100%?
No.
All right, I don't want to hear shit about you. I can complete it easy then, because I complete it easy
I
too.
can't.
I can just play
Storyline's
Gale.
simple. It's
I can play
literally
Gale.
railroad
Oh
I
my
can
tracks.
finish
God.
this real easy. I can finish the game real easy with Gale. So don't give me that. I can finish
It's
it real easy too.
railroad tracks, bro. Come on.
But it's if you go out and explore.
That's the point of those games. You want to explore, but it is simple to beat those games in like record time. Like it literally
Yeah,
only
there's-
takes speedrunners
there's a
for
10-second
Skyrim like an
Yeah.
hour and 45 minutes.
There's a 10-second any percent for Baldur's Gate 3 right now.
yeah.
But are you
Or sorry,
Like-
a 10 minute,
Are you
10-minute, 3-second
yeah.
any percent. It's 10 minutes, yeah. It's a 10-minute any
10
percent.
minutes?
And
But
you can
there's a
just
lot in
finish
the
the
game you can experience and enjoy.
That
But
any
Yeah.
percent
that's
was
not-
like 1% of the game. Like they didn't